Chapter 324. The exquisite attic, the tidy and refreshing 3-foot square terrazzo floor tiles in the front yard are inclined to the architectural style of the Ming dynasty. The carved cornice looms under the branches of a big camphor tree. Even the black bricks on the wall are engraved with generous relief patterns. There is a half-hidden corridor and the fragrance of melons and fruits in the backyard can be seen. Even if she is a delinquent girl, Sister Rong knows that the owner of such a large piece of land in the downtown of our city must be very noble to suppress the enclosure movement caused by the soaring housing prices in recent years. She is just like Auntie Lee when she comes to Lin's house for the first time. Every step she takes, she feels that she is getting shorter. Only the exquisite Ming and Qing dynasty house escapes from her retina and gradually rises in her heart. However, Chao Liang, who looks like a boss, goes to pick them up. He says, "Sister Rong, thanks to you, this is the first time for me to step in." Chao Liang, who always has a driver, is also allowed to enter the house for the first time. Although Sister Rong is naughty, she is also temporarily shocked by such an imposing manner. She behaves like a quail. She looks a bit like Rong Donglin. When she is not roaring, she looks quiet and elegant. Seeing Zheng Tian coming out, Chao Liang says with a smile, "I have brought her to you. See you. Grandmaster will blame me if I don't invite you to a cup of tea. Rong, come with us." Zheng Tian does it on purpose. He pulls up the cuffs of his suit and reveals a famous diamond-studded watch. Sister Rong's eyelids twitch. In modern society, information spreads fast. Every young girl likes to read a few fashion magazines to keep up with the trend. This watch is a famous Swiss brand. Sister Rong remembers it clearly. It is a diamond-studded limited edition. It was released last month with a price of more than 1 million yuan, which can be exchanged for a sweet. Zheng Tian is a smart man. Many years ago, when he was still a playboy, he could lower himself to talk to Mr. Lin who was fishing in front of the villa. After several years of tempering, he can only act cute in front of his close friends. In fact, he is very cunning. He is afraid that this little girl is short-sighted and can't recognize the really valuable advanced custom-made watch, so he deliberately brings this nouveau riche watch. It seems that he made the right choice. Zheng Tian pretends not to notice and takes Chao Liang and Rong Donglin to drink tea. No one greets Sister Rong. She grits her teeth and follows them. "Take a seat first. I'll make the tea." He went out with a kettle and teacups. There were also some small bamboo jars on the tray, which seemed to be used to store tea leaves. Master Zheng and Yuan Yi have been in charge of Lin's for several years. They have learned a lot about medicine from the eldest school brother. Seeing Chao Liang's dark eyes, they know that he may not sleep well recently. They choose 2 pieces of ginseng and goji berries and make a cup of tranquilizing tea. Ginseng nourishes the body and wolfberry calms the nerves. "Li Yang, you have to rest well." Rong, on the other hand, is preoccupied and listless. Xiao Tianzi makes him a cup of refreshing tiguanyin. "Old Rong, look at you, you look like an old man in his 70s or 80s. Come, drink Tai Guanyin to refresh yourself. This is the good stuff that master saved. If it weren't for the 2 of you, I wouldn't have dared to steal it to drink. The tea is fragrant." Sister Rong finds that Zheng Tian is more like a qualified housekeeper than her, but he wears a luxurious watch. Sister Rong can't guess his identity. Thinking of this, she has some expectations. This person is so glib. What kind of tea does he make for her? Zheng Tian makes a cup of lemon tea for Sister Rong. Sister Rong can't recognize famous tea, but she can recognize lemon slices. She is annoyed. There are so many bamboo tubes, but this person makes a cup of lemon tea for her. Does he bully her because she is a nanny? She is young and used to live in the Rong family. She can't hide her emotions. When she takes the cup of tea, she doesn't hold it firmly. Some tea spills on the back of Zheng Tian's hand and even stains his cuff. Sister Rong is stunned and forgets to apologize for a moment. She really doesn't intend to scald him with tea. Chao Liang screams. Zheng Tian puts the tea aside and takes off his watch. He puts it on the table and runs to deal with his hand. Brother, Rong Donglin puts down the tea and comforts her, it's okay. I know you didn't mean it. Zheng Tian won't blame you. Sister Rong only feels that her brother is very easy to talk to today. Without my Mang, she doesn't have to be a needlepoint. She is willing to be a well-behaved sister. Sister Rong is attracted by the familiar name Zheng Tian again. She doesn't know that the atmosphere between her and her brother today is so harmonious because her boyfriend who likes to fan the flames is not here. Zheng Tian, by the way, his name is Zheng Tian. He is the heir of Zheng's real estate. He is the first eligible bachelor in our city that was gossiped about in the magazine last month. Who is the Lin family? How can the heir of Zheng serve tea? Sister Rong looks at her hands. Is she here to take over Zheng Tian's work? Zheng Tian changes his clothes and rushes to them. Liang, Rong, we have to go to the company. Something urgent has happened. Chao Liang guesses something. Rong is honest. He doesn't worry about whether Sister Rong can get used to the environment of Lin's family. He encourages her and runs away with Zheng Tian. Lin's house is quiet and empty. Only Sister Rong is left in the living room. She feels embarrassed. She thinks about it. It is so shameful to be rejected on the first day. Who doesn't know how to be a nanny? After sitting for a while, she stands up and takes the initiative to clean up the mess. Beside the teacup, there is the watch that Zheng Tian forgot to take away. It shines very brightly in the sunlight. Sister Rong's eyelids twitch for the second time. This is a top watch worth millions of yuan. If she and her boyfriend have millions of yuan as their starting capital, they don't have to work as nannies in Lin's house. Sister Rong shows a yearning and pity expression. She reaches out and carefully grabs the watch beside the teacup. She feels that her heart is beating very fast. Mrs. Lin comes home with a happy face with lots of bags in her hands. Wang Miao misses her daughter, so she goes home first. Mrs. Lin receives the notice that Lin Luoran has been home for 2 days, so she comes back by plane. Xiaoran, Xiaoran. Yuan Yi. Zheng Tian. Mrs. Lin calls around but no one answers. She feels a little strange. Usually, there is someone at home. Where is he going today? When she is wondering, a pretty girl comes out of the kitchen. She looks familiar but she doesn't know who she is. Sister Rong looks at the glowing noblewoman in front of her. She doesn't know how old she actually is. In fact, she doesn't know how to call her. They stare at each other for a long time. Sister Rong thinks that she also lives outside. Why doesn't she have the courage today? Sister, I am the new nanny. You can call me Rong. Hearing the word Rong, Mrs. Lin hesitates. Rong Donglin is your. Sister Rong takes the bag from Mrs. Lin's hand and says, he is my brother. Mrs. Lin answers vaguely. She doesn't understand why Rong's sister comes to be a nanny in Lin's house. He is Luodong's teacher. If you are Rong's sister, you have to call me aunt. Sister Rong follows Mrs. Lin's advice and changes her title to aunt. She takes Mrs. Lin to the kitchen and soon finds out Mrs. Lin's identity. It turns out that this is Mrs. Lin. She looks so young. Sister Rong doesn't see the young hostess of Lin's house until dinner. Today is Friday and 2 students in grade 12 go home for dinner. Sister Rong only remembers that she seems to have just graduated from high school, but they don't talk to each other. What they discuss at the dinner table is to enter the best university in Huaxia. As for Sister Rong, she has restudied for a year and still can't get on the college line. It's really annoying to compare with others. After serving the fruit, Sister Rong, who hasn't looked for a job in the past 2 years, feels sore. She doesn't know whether Lin's family is satisfied with her or not, and she doesn't think about raising her salary. Besides, where is she going to stay tonight? Should she stay in the beautiful house of Lin's house or go back? Rong Donglin's apartment is not far from here. The straight distance is very close, but the alley is too winding and the streets are crisscrossing. It seems to be a little far. Is it too late to go back now? When Sister Rong is thinking about it, the street light in the front yard of Lin's house is on. A woman in a long skirt and a coat comes in. There is a camellia gem hairpin on her head casually. Her eyes are particularly bright in the night, like the cold moonlight. Behind her are two people. One is Zheng Tian, whom Lin Luoran has seen during the day, and the other is also tall and thin, not inferior to Zheng Tian. Xiaoran. Mrs. Lin hasn't seen her daughter for 3 years and she doesn't want to let go of her. The coldness in Lin Luoran's eyes melts a little. She takes Mrs. Lin to the room and the mother and daughter have a good talk. Lin Luoran walks past Sister Rong without looking at her from beginning to end. The camellia gem hairpin is like a watch, which almost blinds Sister Rong's eyes. Fortunately, Zheng Tian is one step behind and responds to her, "Hey, you are still here. I forgot to tell you that Lin's house doesn't allow outsiders. Come on, let me send you home." Sister Rong is still shocked. Is she still a nanny who needs to live and eat? She is demoted. She should be a part-time worker. Zheng Tian, come here. Lin Luoran waves to Zheng Tian at the corner. Zheng Tian smiles apologetically. "It seems that I have to delay for a while. By the way, can you drive?" Sister Rong nods. Of course, she can drive. Zheng Tian finds a bunch of keys for her and asks her to drive the BMW that Lin Luoran bought for the first time in her life back. How can the Grandmaster drive such an old car? Zheng Tian has wanted to eliminate this car for a long time, and today he finally finds a fair chance. Sister Rong takes the key in a daze. Because she is nervous, she starts the car after several tries. The alley outside Lin's house is very curved, so she is careful all the way. She drives the car to Rong Donglin's apartment in fear. Sister Rong pats her head. What's wrong with her today? She is not as agile as usual. I am not born to be a nanny. She gets out of the car while cursing. A figure suddenly jumps out of the shadow. Gu Xiang is angry about what happened in the morning. Sister Rong tries to defend him. However, when Gu Xiang thinks of the BMW she drove back, he changes his mind. He asks her if she went to the home of the big boss of Lin's pharmaceutical factory, who she met today, and whether she had a hard time. Sister Rong is physically and mentally exhausted. For the first time, she feels that her boyfriend is very noisy. Rong Donglin turns around at the stairs. When he sees Sister Rong coming back, he is relieved. Are you tired? I have prepared the bath water for you. Have a good rest after taking a bath. Comparing the two, it is obvious who is better. Sister Rong doesn't care about Gu Xiang's thoughts for the first time. She follows her brother upstairs. Gu Xiang stays in the same place. His face changes and a touch of ruthlessness appears in his eyes. Outside the community, Chao Liang sits in the car. He flicks a cigarette butt and tells the driver to drive. These little fleas don't know the immensity of heaven and earth. They even inquire about Lin's family. Young people nowadays are more powerful than him when he was young. Gee. Zheng Tian returns to his room and sees that his watch is wiped clean and placed in the guest room where he lives in Lin's house. Putting the fancy watch in the drawer, Zheng Tian goes to the backyard. What? Director Zheng, did you get anything from today's big show to test Sister Rong? Lin Luoran takes off the camellia hairpin on her head. What a bad idea. She has to pretend to be a nouveau riche. Zheng Tian scratches his head. If she were not Rong's sister, I wouldn't bother to do this. Although Lin Luoran laughs at him, she is actually very satisfied with her second apprentice's attitude towards Rong Donglin. After all, they are old friends who have known each other for almost the same time. If Zheng Tian despises Rong Donglin as immortal just because he has become a cultivator and joined Lin's school, she will be very disappointed. Grandmaster, when will you leave? Can you take me out this time? Zheng Tian looks at Lin Luoran eagerly. Lin Luoran shakes her head. She can do whatever she wants alone. Maybe she can find the opportunity to bear essence. Chapter 325. In May, pedestrians in Jinling have begun to wear short sleeves and long skirts. This year's new summer clothes are on the market. Women in Jinling look more beautiful with fair skin. Most of the girls in Rong City have delicate facial features, while girls in Jinling are tall and fair-skinned. Wearing a pair of sunglasses, Lin Luoran is not as eye-catching as when she walks on the street in Rong City. Lin Luoran is very satisfied with the situation. As soon as she gets off the plane, she takes a taxi to the School of Aeronautics and Astronautics. She still remembers that Pei Yuan, a college student whom she has met twice, is studying in the Jinling School of Aeronautics and Astronautics. The girl named Xia Bingyan whom he likes is also a student of the School of Aeronautics. Is her grandfather the former president of the School of Aeronautics? Lin Luoran decides to start from here. It should not be difficult to find Pei Yuan's address. There is a touching love song playing in the taxi with classical music. The female voice is gentle and low. Lin Luoran relaxes along with the tune. Sir, whose song is this? It sounds good. The taxi driver is surprised. It is Fairy Xia's song. I thought it was popular all over the country. What a coincidence. She is performing at the School of Aeronautics today. You can listen to the live version. The taxi driver feels honored. It seems that he knows Fairy Xia. He not only introduces Fairy Xia to Lin Luoran with great interest, but also hands her a CD cover. In the colorful ink painting, a young woman is wearing a modified version of the Han costume. Her hair is combed and there is a green chrysanthemum inserted in her hair. The woman's eyebrows are drooping. From the side, only her sharp chin and small nose can be seen. Lin Luoran is surprised. Her eyes fall on a line of small words on the cover of the CD. Her eyes are even more gloomy. Fairy Xia Bingyan, will meet you on the top of Mount Hua. Lin Luoran is surprised to see that the arrogant college student has become a fairy or a female star. When she reads the words, she is a little angry even though she has always been calm. This person wanted to follow the current trend of Chinese people seeking to become immortals and seek the Tao. She didn't have any objections to him using the name of a fairy to mingle in the entertainment circle. However, this is obviously a publicity stunt based on what happened on the top of Mount Hua. Luodong untied the knot in his heart there and she met Pei Yuan and Xia Bingyan by chance. Those are warm memories. However, now they are used as a tool to make money. How can she be happy? It was totally different from the photos published by Pei Yuan on the internet. Lin Luoran's finger slides over the cover of the CD. Does Pei Yuan know that Xia Bingyan is doing this? Was Luodong 12 years old? 6 or 7 years could really change a lot of people. Lin Luoran doesn't know why, but she feels disappointed. The taxi stops. It turns out that they have arrived at the gate of the School of Aeronautics. Lin Luoran returns the CD cover to the driver, pays the fare and gets off. Since the driver said that Xia Bingyan will have a concert at Southern University today, Lin Luoran might as well solve the problem at the same time. Lin Luoran walks to the school gate. On her way, many young boys and girls are rushing to a certain direction with Xia Bingyan's CD in their hands. There are also many middle-aged men who are driving nice cars. They roll down their windows and ask for directions. Xia Bingyan's fans are widely distributed. It seems that Lin Luoran doesn't even need to ask for directions. Lin Luoran follows the crowd. It turns out that she is in the auditorium of Southern University. The slogan of the concert is to give back to her alma mater. The auditorium can hold thousands of people and it is hard to get a ticket. Seeing that many fans are blocked outside the gate by the security guards and the assistant police, Lin Luoran turns her eyes and finds a man who seems to be a scalper looking around. Do you have a ticket? The scalper who looks like a college student pulls Lin Luoran to a corner. A real VIP seat in the front row. What do you think? I will give you the ticket as long as you add 500 yuan. Lin Luoran looks at the ticket. It is indeed a seat in the second row. The ticket price is 2,888. The student wants to add 500 yuan. He spends more than 3,000 yuan just to see Xia Bingyan more clearly. Lin Luoran does not bargain and buys the ticket. The student scalper is a little regretful that he asked for a lower price. He is very upset. Lin Luoran smiles. How can you be willing to sell the ticket? I see that they are crazy about getting in. The scalper is proud. I got this ticket from the lottery. Isn't it good to get more than 3,000 yuan for free? Why should I join in the fun? The scalper seems to be quite disdainful of Xia Fairy. He throws the money he just got and proudly squeezes into the crowd and disappears. Lin Luoran follows the crowd to the auditorium. The fans who are stopped by the crowd are jealous when they see the VIP ticket in her hand. When Lin Luoran enters the auditorium, 90% of the seats are occupied. The VIP second row is actually 10 meters away from the stage. Many people buy standing tickets and squeeze in the aisle. Someone checks Lin Luoran's ticket and leads her to the second row. The stage is blocked by a black curtain. Lin Luoran doesn't know what is inside. She sits quietly in her seat, incompatible with the excitement of the fans around her. After waiting for more than 10 minutes, it is probably time. The host's playful opening comes from the sound system and the crowd quickly quiets down. Xia Fairy. Xia Fairy. The lights suddenly dim. The fans hold colorful glow sticks in their hands. They shout Xia Fairy and wait for Xia Bingyan to come out. Before the black curtain is opened, the prelude of the ensemble of guqin and flute is played. The crowd automatically quiets down. Putting aside the prejudice, the background music is not bad. However, it is hard for Xia Bingyan to have such a status in the entertainment circle with such classical music without any gimmicks. The black curtain is suddenly moved and a strong light illuminates the entire auditorium. The alternation of darkness and light makes many people squint their eyes. In the dazzling light, Xia Bingyan, the protagonist of the concert, swings from the back of the auditorium to the stage with a white ribbon. This is beyond many people's expectation. Xia Bingyan's dress is plain white. She looks as pure as her name suggests. When the long ribbon of her dress swings over people's heads, Lin Luoran hears many people sobbing excitedly. The background of the stage is also plain white. Suddenly, snowflakes fall from the auditorium. Before Xia Bingyan starts to sing, someone has already whispered, "Oh my God, it is real snowflakes. It is May and Jinling is hot." The snowflakes falling on people will not only not freeze them, but also make them feel happy. No matter how good Xia Bingyan is, the planner is good. Xia Bingyan starts to sing. She is singing in classical Chinese but some fans can follow the lyrics. It seems that these people really love this style. Lin Luoran has been sitting quietly in her seat, staring at Xia Bingyan on the stage without saying a word. Looking at the waving glow sticks under the stage, Xia Bingyan feels that she is walking on the clouds. She feels so light and warm. After using this gimmick for a long time, Xia Bingyan sometimes wonders if she was really a cultivator in her previous life. Today, this feeling is more and more intense, accompanied by a touch of palpitation. She always feels that someone is staring at her. It is not threatening, but it makes her sweat on the back of her neck. Is it him? Xia Bingyan searches the crowd without leaving any trace. However, after listening to 2 songs, Lin Luoran feels bored and sneaks out of the crowd. Xia Bingyan misunderstands her as someone else. She looks around but finds nothing. Lin Luoran feels sorry and disappointed. It is time to get changed. Xia Bingyan goes backstage with the elevator. The makeup artists rushed forward to help her with her makeup, and the assistants helped her put on a white dress embroidered with hundreds of patterns. Are you tired? Zhang Shuming, a successful man, hands her a tissue to wipe her sweat. The backstage staff all smile kindly. He is a major shareholder of the company. Everyone is happy to see him and Fairy Xia together. Because of Xia Bingyan's image as a pure and clean fairy, she certainly can't stand the bombardment of scandals. Therefore, their relationship has not been made public. Lin Luoran hides on an empty chair. Under the cover of the mini-world, she watches this scene openly. The man who was with Xia Bingyan was Zhang Shuming. Where is Pei Yuan? Things seem to be different from what she imagined. He seems to be here today. Xia Bingyan lowers her eyes so that the makeup artist can change the color of her eyeshadow. Zhang Shuming's eyes flash with cruelty. Then he smiles gently, of course not. Pei Yuan should be abroad now. In fact, it is just a gimmick. What's wrong with that? He is such a busybody. He treats others better than he treats you. Xia Bingyan's face turns colder. They talk for a while and Lin Luoran relaxes her frown. Zhang Shuming takes advantage of Xia Bingyan's weakness. Listening to the whole story, Zhang Shuming has nothing to do with Pei Yuan. In fact, Pei Yuan and Xia Bingyan have different opinions on this gimmick. That is why Zhang Shuming can stand here and provoke Xia Bingyan. Lin Luoran is not in the mood to pay attention to this matter. Since Pei Yuan is abroad now, she doesn't have to ask Xia Bingyan for his address. The curtain of the backstage moves without wind. Xia Bingyan feels that the air conditioner is a bit cold. She can't help but shrink her shoulders. Zhang Shuming is encouraging her. Thinking of the enthusiasm of her fans, Xia Bingyan knows that she can't delay any longer. She forgets the illusion that she is being watched and walks to the stage. However, she really feels that Pei Yuan is in the audience today. Is it really an illusion? Lin Luoran walks on the campus of Nanhang University. Students passing by are all talking about Xia Bingyan's concert. In May, the city flower of Jinling is covered with green leaves. It doesn't have the cold arrogance of red plum blossoms. Lin Luoran's sight falls on the branches of the tree. A young man stands there, looking a bit alienated. Lin Luoran raises her eyebrows. I heard that you are abroad now. A man who is abroad suddenly appears in Nanhang University. There must be a story behind this. Pei Yuan turns around. He can't believe it. He didn't expect to see Lin Luoran here. After 6 or 7 years, Xia Bingyan has become a big star. She used to be a clever part-time tour guide, but now she looks weathered. She no longer looks like a god's favored one. Only Lin Luoran is blessed by time because of her cultivation. She still looks like she is in her early 20s. She hasn't aged at all. Chapter 326. Lin Luoran invites Pei Yuan to have a cup of hot soybean milk in the cafeteria. The music and the cheers of fans make the cafeteria quiet. Lin Luoran chooses a seat by the window on the second floor and orders a bowl of duck blood and vermicelli soup, a specialty of Jinling. The vermicelli is chewy with some chili oil. The duck giblets don't smell fishy. Lin Luoran sprinkles some chopped green onions on top, which is good food in the cafeteria. Seeing the fairy eating duck blood and vermicelli in front of him, Pei Yuan's loneliness fades a little. After the trip to Mount Hua that year, we got closer and closer. When we graduated from college, we were already a couple. I signed a contract with a design institute. Bingyan was encouraged by others to become a star. She is beautiful and good at singing, but she is not a professional. Besides, she didn't enter the industry until she graduated from college. She drifted in the north of the capital for 2 years and suffered a lot. However, she didn't even release a single album. This is a story with a good beginning but eventually falls into a cliché. Xia Bingyan is cold and arrogant. Her relationship with Pei Yuan is complicated. She goes to the north because she wants to prove herself. Subconsciously, she wants to surpass Lin Luoran, whom she once met. The star path, which was the center of attention, could give people the feeling of vanity. Pei Yuan stays in the Design Institute. Long-distance relationships are unpredictable. During the 2 years, Xia Bingyan's road to becoming a star is not smooth, while Pei Yuan becomes the director of a small project in the Design Institute. He has a bright future. Xia Bingyan is 25 years old now. It is even harder for a woman of this age to become famous in the entertainment circle. Pei Yuan once jokingly said that he would raise Xia Bingyan. This is already a proposal. Xia Bingyan can't let go of her pride. She stays in the capital. Zhang Shuming, who got a lunchbox, returns as a major shareholder of an entertainment company. The cliché story begins here. The long distance between Pei Yuan and Xia Bingyan makes them drift apart. One day, Pei Yuan sees Xia Bingyan in an ancient costume at a game conference on TV. Xia Bingyan is the spokesperson of the game. They have a fierce quarrel. Xia Bingyan accuses Pei Yuan of not knowing the hardships of being a star. Pei Yuan points out that Xia Bingyan has betrayed her dream of singing. Later, Xia Bingyan is packaged as a fairy. She becomes famous with the enthusiasm of the people of the state of Huaxia. When Pei Yuan sees the slogan, "Meet at the top of Mount Hua," he is worried that Lin Luoran might accidentally see this CD somewhere in the state of Huaxia and bring trouble to Xia Bingyan. At the same time, he feels sad for his girlfriend. They quarrel fiercely. Pei Yuan goes far away from home and Xia Bingyan takes advantage of the east wind. By the time Pei finishes his story, the soybean milk has gone cold and of Luoran of Lin. She put down her chopsticks and told them what she had seen backstage. There's a villain behind this, so you can't blame the two of you for drifting apart. I won't pursue this matter, but as for your matter. Pei Yuan smiles bitterly. I have long known that Zhang Shuming took advantage of the situation, but the problem comes from us. Flies don't bite seamless eggs. She is arrogant and soft. This is not the first time that she misunderstood me. Lin Luoran is speechless. It seems that last time in Mount Hua, it was also Xia Bingyan's roommate who made her lose the possibility of starting a relationship with Pei Yuan. What can she say? She doesn't care about others using her as a gimmick. However, Pei Yuan and Xia Bingyan are two extremes. Pei Yuan is not Zhang Shuming. He seems to have a glib tongue, but he can't be humble and lose his dignity. Xia Bingyan, on the other hand, is a proud girl. She grows up in flattery. Naturally, she can't accept her boyfriend's stubbornness, never mind. When the pink tone of love fades, life should go back to how it should be. What's your plan in the future? Pei Yuan hesitates. Maybe I should go abroad. Lin Luoran smiles. Don't you want to stay and serve your country? I left in a hurry and annoyed the leaders of the Design Institute. They blocked my file. You know, in the state of Huaxia, it is very difficult to find a job in a research institute or design institute without a file. Lin Luoran thinks for a while and asks, is your major related to aerospace technology? Pei Yuan nods. An undergraduate student of aerospace technology can also enter the Design Institute. Pei Yuan must have a solid basic knowledge. Lin Luoran has an idea. Hey, you didn't throw away the 2 cushions, did you, Pei? Speaking of the rush cushion, Pei Yuan inevitably remembers what happened on the top of Mount Hua. It seems that it happened yesterday. It has been more than 6 years, but he and Xia Bingyan can never go back to the place they used to be. Of course, the cushions are still there. They are in Pei Yuan's hometown. Lin Luoran borrows a pen and paper from the staff of the cafeteria. She writes down the address of Lin's family and Yuan Ye's phone number. She asks Pei Yuan to take the cushions to our city first. Yuan Ye will contact Lu Sanchun for him. If there is no problem with Lu Sanchun's background, Yuan Ye will arrange for Pei to go to the base. Pei Yuan is in a daze with the note in his hand. He wants to ask more questions, but Lin Luoran is gone. Only the bowls and chopsticks are still on the table. It proves that all this is not his imagination. Just go to the base. A man can live on more than just love. He also has a career. Pei Yuan solemnly puts away the address, stands up and leaves the cafeteria. He slowly walks out of the gate of Southern Airlines. After all, they used to love each other. At this moment, Xia Bingyan seems to feel something. She feels empty in her heart. She doesn't see Pei Yuan in the crowd. She seems to have lost the boy who loved to make her laugh forever. Her youth will never come back. Time flies. From now on, Xia Bingyan is the only one left on this road. She is singing a happy song. Xia Bingyan's tears overflow and her makeup is wet. The fans who had been cheering and waving flags suddenly realized that the perfect idol on the stage had squatted down without a care for her image, crying like a willful little girl. Life is like this. Sometimes, there is no next time. There is no chance to start again. There is no pause to continue. If you miss this moment, you will never have another chance. After dealing with the trivial matters, Lin Luoran sets off with a light pack. She books the train ticket for the evening and buys some snacks to fool people. At 10:00 in the evening, the train leaves the Jinling station in the crowd. There is a strange smell in the train, which makes Lin Luoran hard to swallow. However, she has to stay in such an environment for another 40 or 50 hours. She has to pinch her nose and make a bowl of noodles. At 11:00, Lin Luoran lies on the berth and covers herself with the quilt. Soon, she falls asleep. Without cultivating, without using any spells, she could only turn herself into the most ordinary traveler and look at this journey with an ordinary heart. Perhaps only then could she find what she wanted. The next day, Lin Luoran can hardly notice the strange smell in the carriage. She feels that she has completely blended in here. At 7:30 on the third day, Lin Luoran arrives at the destination. Lhasa at night looks no different from other inland cities. Lin Luoran is a little short of oxygen. She takes a rest to recover. Some people speak Tibetan, and some people in suits speak Mandarin with regional accents. Lin Luoran squeezes out of the station along with the crowd. This place is very chaotic at night. She doesn't wander in the city at night. Instead, she finds a family hotel, takes a hot bath, and eats some very authentic mutton skewers downstairs with the smell of mutton. There are also scones. Lin Luoran deliberately can't finish such a big pancake in a day. There are indeed few women wandering on the street at night. It is very dangerous for a single female tourist like her. The owner of the family hotel sees a group of Tibetan young people coming over and greets Lin Luoran to go upstairs quickly. They mean well. Lin Luoran packs the mutton skewers and takes them to a small room on the third floor. The bed is clean. She watches TV for a while, but there is only a local channel. She hasn't learned Tibetan. After eating the mutton skewers, she simply falls asleep. In the middle of the night, the smell of mutton makes her get up to drink water. Looking out of the window, the noisy city has become quiet. Although Lhasa is not the same as she imagined, Lin Luoran still feels that she is half asleep. Someone is holding a prayer wheel and chanting tantric scriptures that she doesn't understand. The next morning, Lin Luoran drinks the butter tea provided by the hotel. She eats 2 meat buns with tea and checks out. She carries a big bag to the inner city. The new city of Lhasa is centered on the Potala Palace and Barker Street. It reaches the Sera Temple in the north and Duelong Daching County in the west. Looking at the city of Lhasa, there are posts and telecommunications buildings, news buildings, Lhasa hotels, Tibetan hotels, and all kinds of buildings. They are intertwined with each other, continuous and continuous. It is said that when Princess Wenqing married to Tubo, this place was still a grassy beach. After the construction of the Jokhang Temple and the Jokhang Temple, the number of preaching monks and people coming to worship Buddha increased. Songzan Gampo also expanded the palace in Hongshan. This place gradually became a famous city on the plateau. Therefore, only when you arrive at the Jokhang Temple and the Balong Street can you say that you have arrived at the real Lhasa. Lin Luoran silently listens to the 2 tourists around her talking about the history of Lhasa. She decides to go to the Jokhang Temple to have a look. Chapter 327. Lin Luoran arrives very early. It is not the peak time for visitors to visit the Jokhang temple. Only the people passing through the Buddhist scriptures are pouring into the temple. Lin Luoran buys a ticket and follows them in. The ticket seller asks her again and again if she wants to take pictures. If she wants to take pictures, she needs to buy another ticket. Lin Luoran finds that the ticket is more expensive than the price of the school. She can imagine the scenery inside the Jokhang temple. However, it is a sacred place of Buddhism. Ordinary tourists don't mind. It is disrespectful for a cultivator like Lin Luoran to take pictures in the temple even though she knows the Buddha is real. After entering the gate, Lin Luoran sees the compound which combines the architectural styles of Tang, Tibetan, Nepalese and Indian. Lin Luoran doesn't follow the established tour route. She stops here and there and turns to a mural. She takes a closer look and finds that it is the appearance of the early Potala Palace and the scene of filling the lake to build the Jokhang temple. Lin Luoran appreciates it for a while and then turns into the main hall. The first small hall is dedicated to Tsongkhapa and his 8 disciples, who are the promoters of the Yellow sect. Lin Luoran is about to step in but is stopped by an invisible light curtain. Why can other people go in and out as usual but she can't? Lin Luoran carefully observes those devout worshippers. Occasionally, 2 or 3 of them have a white line connecting their heads with the Buddha statue. Lin Luoran first thinks of the white light spots in her ocean of consciousness. It is the power of faith that has been established. These believers have been worshipping for a long time, so the power of faith is totally different from the mottled light spots in Lin Luoran's ocean of consciousness. She looks at the whole hall and finds it is shrouded by a hazy white light. Is it all the power of faith that has been gathered over the years here? Thinking of the fly Apsara's painted sculpture in her ocean of consciousness, Lin Luoran suddenly understands the mystery. She is now a Taoist priest with no followers and she has her own Taoist field. This small hall can be regarded as someone else's Taoist field. Now all the gods and Buddhas are gone. Even if she wants to visit them, no one will come to greet her. Lin Luoran suddenly thinks of a possibility. Maybe she will never be able to enter temples worshipped by Buddhas, Taoists and Confucians. Thinking of this, Lin Luoran feels a bit disappointed. She decides to walk around the temple and look at the colorful paintings before going home. As soon as she turned around, she saw an acquaintance whom she had met once walking slowly towards her from the corridor. He was accompanied by several old monks. This is the Holy Land on the plateau. Lin Luoran smells the fragrance of hosta flowers. Jishio, the little Buddhist monk, why is he here? The old monk beside him seemed to be a monk of the Jokhang temple. Master Puji of the Xiantong temple was not among them. It's Jishio. Lin Luoran is not the same as before. She has already felt that something is wrong. Those monks surround Jishio in the middle. From time to time, the young novice monk lowers his head and says a few words to them. Those old monks show a look of joy. It was clear at a glance who was superior. Master Jishio. Lin Luoran says hello. Jishio looks sideways. When he sees Lin Luoran, he seems to be confused. People come and go in the Jokhang temple, but he can still sense the breath of cultivators. No matter how advanced Lin Luoran's personal ability is, she is different from Taoism and Buddhism. She should be more conspicuous. Jishio thinks like this, but he whispers a few words to several old monks. The monks disperse, and Jishio comes alone. I didn't expect to see lay Buddhist Lin on the plateau. The sun refracts dazzling light under the golden painting of the Jokhang temple. The young novice monk seems to be stepping on light and shadow. Lin Luoran sees that he doesn't say why he is here, so she doesn't mention this topic. She says seriously, I haven't thanked Master Puji personally for what happened last time. It's my fault. Jishio invites her to walk around the temple. Lin Luoran readily accepts. It is lay Buddhist Lin who provides the opportunity for Buddhist cultivators to re-enter the secular world. I should thank you. If you don't mind, please have a cup of butter tea with me. A young master from Mount Wutai invites her to have butter tea in the Jokhang Temple in Tibet. This is a new treatment. Lin Luoran doesn't refuse and goes there gladly. After a few turns, they come to a side hall, which is isolated from the hustle and bustle of tourists. It may be the residence of Jishio. He is very familiar with everything here. He takes out a small tin pot to boil tea. Lin Luoran is surprised that the tea leaves Jishio takes out have a musty smell. It's a little strange. Jishio seems to be very courteous in the Jokhang Temple. Why is he so careless about daily necessities? Someone even offers him musty tea. Lin Luoran has a slight headache when she thinks that these musty tea leaves may go into her mouth. She thinks of a few words without showing off, indicating that she can provide tea. However, Jishio smiles. Lay Buddhist Lin, do you think that the tea is musty because the Jokhang Temple doesn't treat me well? Lin Luoran shakes her head. She is not so superficial. However, Jishio's words also mean that he refuses her to provide tea. Lin Luoran no longer insists. She quietly watches Jishio boil tea on a small coal stove. The handsome young Buddhist monk's face is stained with ashes, but he doesn't care at all. There is no elegance of plum blossoms, orchids, bamboo and chrysanthemums here. It seems that Jishio is also stained with dust. Seeing this scene, Lin Luoran's eagerness to advance gradually calms down. After boiling for a long time, the musty tea leaves have no peculiar smell, leaving only a strong tea fragrance. Lin Luoran is a little surprised. She watches Jishio pour the tea into a bamboo tube, add lumps of butter, and slowly mix it with the tea. Then, he adds salt little by little. Jishio's movements are skillful. The wide sleeves of his robe move slowly with his movements, making everything full of a sense of harmony. It is obvious that he is skilled in making butter tea. Lin Luoran doesn't know when he came to the Jokhang Temple and how long he has been making tea here. After a while, Jishio finally stops and pours a bowl of tea for Lin Luoran. A bowl of hot tea drives away the chill of the morning in Lhasa. Lin Luoran feels calm and her hands and feet are warm. Her palms are even slightly sweaty. Looking at this side hall again, even the rusty copper lamp seems to be full of stories. Lin Luoran puts down the wooden bowl and savors the tea fragrance for a while. She feels that she can't bear essence for a long time because she deviates from the real secular world. She cultivates to enter the secular world, not to get out of it. She thinks that as an ordinary tourist, she is comprehending without using spells or wakan. However, she asks herself. Since she started to cultivate, she has been farther and farther away from the life of mortals. Thinking about it carefully, how long has it been since she started to fly without relying on fire spells, water spells to gather water, or the wind riding spell? Master Jishio, this is really a bowl of good tea. Lin Luoran figures out some key points and smiles all over her face. After saying goodbye to Jishio, she walks slowly along the cloister like a real ordinary person who will be happy to see colorful paintings instead of looking down at them. This time, she doesn't think about her identity as a cultivator, the power of faith, and the colored sculpture in her ocean of consciousness. Without any hindrance, she enters the hall that she couldn't enter before. Lin Luoran happily visits the entire Jokhang Temple. When she walks out of the gate, it is already afternoon. Her figure is submerged in the tourists. On a tall building, Jishio, a young Buddhist monk, stands at the railing thoughtfully. Holy monk, an old monk greets him. He doesn't know what Jishio is looking at. Jishio shakes his head. I am not qualified to receive the precepts. How can I be called a holy monk? Don't mention this name again. The old monk is timid and doesn't know what to say. He knows how to change the topic when he is desperate, so he asks Jishio what he is looking at. Jishio smiles but says nothing. The old monk is confused for a while and also looks into the distance. There are so many people inside and outside the Jokhang Temple. He doesn't know who has attracted Jishio's attention. Jishio returns to the side hall and picks up the wooden bowl that Lin Luoran used to drink. The young Buddhist monk's delicate eyebrows are a little confused. A bowl of tea can make her have an epiphany. What an enviable talent. However, why do I feel that when she is distracted, there is a fluctuation of the power of faith? It is said that Taoism and Buddhism are not interlinked. What's the use of a cultivator carrying a Buddhist cultivator's magic weapon? The sky gradually darkens, and the side hall is quiet. Jishio's robe moves without wind. The temperature difference at night in Tibet is huge. He gets up and closes the heavy door of the hall. Chapter 328. Tibetan herdsmen already have houses, but they have to migrate within a certain range to graze. Some families still keep the custom of migrating with the seasons. Deep in the Naku grassland, there are still sporadic Mongolian yurts. This afternoon, in the distance of the grassland, the sky is dyed with thick colors by the burning clouds. Zaitong's mom finally comes back with the sheep. There is a black spot in the distance. The person on the horse must be her mom, Dunju. Nana, Nana, look, mom is back. Zaitong's little face is blushing from the plateau. An old lady with braids comes out of the Mongolian yurt first. She is old and her eyesight is poor. She squints for a while until the woman driving the sheep on the horse gets closer. She finally recognizes that it is Zaitong's mom. Dunju, you come back late today. The woman doesn't get off the horse as usual. Instead, she waves to her daughter. Zaitong, come and help me. Zaitong runs over and sees a person behind her mom. She is lying on her mom's back and is restrained by the whip. Otherwise, she would have fallen off. Herdsman's staple food is milk and meat. Although Zaitong is young, she is strong. Even her trembling, Nana, is still strong. After helping her mom put the person on the horse on the ground, Zaitong finds that this is a very beautiful woman. Her skin is more delicate than milk. Her long hair is black and she is wearing a white dress stained with a lot of stains. Moving her hair aside, Zaitong finds that her eyes are closed and her brows are frowning. It seems that she is still admitting great pain in her sleep. Mom, who is she? Zaitong finds that the woman has nothing but neat clothes and a big pearl on her wrist. Dunju is busy fixing the sheep pen and has no time to answer Zaitong. I picked her up by the lake. I don't know if she was robbed. She has nothing to prove her identity. Such a slender and fair-skinned woman doesn't look like a Tibetan. Dunju shakes her head. This female tourist is really bold. She dares to go deep into the Naku grassland alone. She hopes that she is not hurt except for her money. Seeing her mom is busy, Zaitong claps her hands. A big dog helps to drive cattle and sheep out. With the help of the big dog, the little girl finally dragged the unconscious woman back to the yurt. Her Nana is cooking dinner. Zaitong cleans up the dirt on the woman's body like a little mistress. TSK, what kind of material is this dress made of? It looks so beautiful and doesn't even have mud on it. Seeing that the woman's clothes were bare, she covered herself with a blanket and ran out to help her mother. When Zaitong returns to the yurt, the woman has not woken up yet. Nana is making fragrant. Thinking of the delicious fragrant, Zaitong can't help swallowing. Nana only cooks delicious food when her mother, Dunju, is at home. Nana says that her mother is the pillar of the family and she must make sure that Dunju eats well. In Xiangzhai, the potatoes were boiled until they were 80% done, peeled, drained, and cut into small pieces. Zaitong's Nana has finished the preliminary work. She is now cutting the green onions. The oil in the pan is already smoking. Nana puts the green onions into the pan for a while and pours them into the stone trough. Then there is the paste curry powder, which is mixed with cold water. It is poured into the oil pan to make curry. Like the green onions, it is also prepared. The mutton is chopped into pieces and fried with butter. Then it is stewed in the pan. Nana stirs the mutton in the pan and goes to make butter tea. Zaitong is left to guard the pan. She is so hungry. Cooking in Xiangzhai is too complicated. Zaitong hasn't eaten it for 2 or 3 months. She misses the taste very much, so she is reluctant to leave the pan. The smell of stewed mutton gradually fills the yurt. Dunju lifts the blanket and comes in. Nana makes the butter tea and hands her a bowl. Drinking the fragrant buttered tea, Dunju feels much better after a day of tiredness. She looks at the woman she saved and finds that her face is abnormally flushed. She has a fever. She doesn't know how long the woman has been in a coma by the lake. The water must have cooled her body, so she has a fever. There is still some brown sugar at home. Dunju asks Zaitong to boil ginger brown sugar water. Zaitong jumps over and touches the woman's forehead. It is really hot. No matter how reluctant she is to leave the pot of mutton, she has to leave to boil the brown sugar water. Nana sees that the mutton is almost stewed. She adds potatoes, oil curry, salt, ginger, fennel, cloves, Tibetan cardamom and other seasonings. She takes a small stick and stirs it. When it is done, the xiangzhai is ready to eat. The 3 people in the yurt are busy. Zaitong quickly drinks the woman she saved with brown sugar water. Because the woman she saved has a fever for a whole night, Zaitong feels that the xiangzhai dinner is tasteless. There seem to be only 3 women in this family. Dunju is the only main labor force. Because they have to graze tomorrow, Zaitong's Nana drives Dunju to rest. She and Zaitong take turns to take care of the woman. Zaitong keeps watch for most of the night. She is a child who sleeps well. She can't stand it and falls asleep before dawn. She is woken up by her Nana. It turns out that the woman has woken up. Nana is touching her forehead. My name is Zaitong. My mother said my name stands for olive. What about you? Zaitong also went to school and can speak Huaxia Chinese. The woman frowns. Name? I don't remember. Her voice is clear and moving. Her Mandarin is also very standard. Zaitong feels that women speak very well. But how can she forget her own name? Is it because she has a fever? Anner, come on, bring the heated milk. Zaitong yells at Anner. Anner is the woman her family saved a week ago. She doesn't remember her name and has no ID card. She begs Zaitong's family to take her in temporarily, so Zaitong gives her the name Anner for convenience. Anner means pomegranate. Although she doesn't remember who she is, Zaitong finds that she knows a lot of things. She is strong and diligent. Therefore, Zaitong's Nana and her mother like her very much. Anner is like a new member of Zaitong's family. In a week, she has slowly integrated into the family. For the convenience of working, she braids her thick black hair into 2 braids hanging in front of her chest. When her face is exposed, Zaitong says she is more beautiful than pomegranate flowers. Anner is carrying a big pot with steaming yak milk in it. According to Zaitong's command, she pours the milk into a 4-foot-high wooden barrel. Zaitong says that this kind of barrel is used to make butter, and it is called shuedong. A cow can produce 4 or 5 caddies of milk a day. 100 caddies of milk can only extract 5 or 6 caddies of butter. This is a hard work, but herdsmen's families can't lack butter. Zaitong's Nana is old, and her mother Dunju needs to graze. In the past, Zaitong did the work of extracting butter, but now Anner takes over. After pouring the steaming yak milk into the wooden barrel, Anner begins to whip it up and down. After hundreds of times, the oil and water will be separated. The hard work makes Anner's nose overflow with fine sweat. Her little face looks like a shining gem in the sunshine of the grassland. Slowly, a layer of yellow fat floats up in the barrel. Zaitong scoops it up and pours it into a leather bag. After cooling, this is the essential food of every Tibetan, butter. They cooperate and get 4 or 5 caddies of butter, which is enough for them to eat for a while. Then Anner cleans up the tools. Zaitong finds that Anner is very smart. In the beginning, when she went to milk, she would be kicked down by the sheep. Now she is like a herdsman girl who grew up on the grassland. She can do everything smoothly. It's still early. Shall we go to dig wild vegetables? Anna puts down the tools and takes a bag out. She smiles at Zaitong. Zaitong licks her lips, and her little face is full of joy. Pastoral areas are not like cities in Tibet. Highland barley, glutinous rice and meat are the staple food. There is no rice, let alone vegetables. However, since Anna comes, there are often 2 delicious wild vegetables on the table of Zaitong's family. Anna knows a lot and cooks well. Zaitong is reluctant to let her leave. Looking at the 2 figures, one big and one small, Zaitong's Nana laughs in front of the yurt. Anna is not only a hard-working girl. Since she came, Zaitong, who is lonely, has a companion because her whole family likes Anna very much. Besides water birds, a kind of wild vegetable called water celery grows in summer by the clear lake. Zaitong used to think it is water grass, but Anna picks it back. She scalds it with water and puts some salt and butter in it. It is very tasty. They pick a bag of water celery by the lake. Anna looks at the big fat fish in the clear lake and sighs. She vaguely remembers that the fish she cooks is also delicious. However, because of the water burial, real Tibetans don't eat fish. She doesn't dare to mention this topic. She picks the water celery and takes Zaitong back. Because it is still early, the 2 play on the grassland for a while. May is not over yet and the Naku grassland is full of flowers. Anna picks some wild flowers and skillfully weaves a garland. She puts it on Zaitong's hair and braids her hair. Zaitong giggles and runs to the lake to look at her own shadow on the water. Anna is good at everything except for being too clean. Zaitong asks her to take a bath and wash her hair every 3 days. Zaitong sighs. It seems that even a perfect person has shortcomings. At sunset, Zaitong's mom Dunju comes back with cattle and sheep. Zaitong takes off the garland and yells at her. She runs on the grassland like a healthy and vigorous deer. That night, everyone eats up Anna's cold wild vegetables for dinner. Anna eats sour water celery and glutinous rice cake. When she feels thirsty, she takes a sip of butter tea. She feels that this kind of life seems to be far away from her previous life. However, Anna can't remember who she used to be and what kind of life she lived before. In the middle of the night, she is suddenly woken up by the low temperature. Zaitong is sleeping beside her. Anna has a dream. She comes to the Naku grassland for something ordinary. She can't go home if she doesn't find such a thing. But what is it exactly that she is looking for? Anna touches a big pearl on her wrist. This pearl gives her an inexplicable sense of peace. Maybe her identity will be confirmed by this pearl. It is very cold on the grassland at night. Anna shrinks into the blanket and falls asleep again. Chapter 329. 2 weeks later, Anna finds that Zaitong and Dunju are both busy. She asks carefully and finds out that the annual Naku horse race will be held in 2 months. In addition to the horse race, herdsmen from hundreds of miles around will bring their goods there. It is also a trade fair. Zaitong's family needs to exchange for necessities for the next year at the horse race. Zaitong's family has 2 horses, 15 cows, and 40 sheep. They are not very well off among herdsmen. At least, Zaitong's and Dunju's Tibetan clothes are not very gorgeous. Every Tibetan has several sets of traditional Tibetan clothes. Besides attending festivals, it is also one of the best dowries for every daughter of a Tibetan family. Anna hears from Dunju that a good Tibetan dress for the daughter of a rich herdsman can be worth hundreds of thousands of yuan. It is made of the best material and the best turquoise. However, Zaitong's family doesn't have many cows and sheep. She may not have much dowry in the future. Although Zaitong is only 12 years old now, Dunju is afraid that her daughter will be poor when she gets married, so she starts to prepare the dowry now. Zaitong's Nana has bad eyes. I took her to the doctor 2 years ago and it was said that she has cataracts. The operation will cost tens of thousands of yuan. The winner of the horse race has a prize of 100,000 yuan. We are going to have a try. Dun Zhu is sorting out the fur she has accumulated while chatting with Anna. Dun Zhu's Chinese is not very good, so it is a little difficult for her to talk with Anna. However, Anna feels that Dun Zhu talks with a kind of vitality of not giving up life. Sister Dun Zhu, can I go to the horse race? Anna doesn't know what she can do for this family by living and eating in this family. If she can really win the prize of 100,000 yuan, it should be very useful to Zhe Yitong's family, right? Dun Zhu stares at her. Can you ride a horse? Anna thinks for a while and shakes her head. I don't remember. The next day, Zhe Yitong takes a horse out and goes to a place without cows and sheep to practice riding with Anna. As expected, Anna doesn't know how to ride a horse. Zhe Yitong happily becomes her little teacher. Looking at the 12-year-old Zhe Yitong flying freely on the back of the horse and making some thrilling moves from time to time, Anna is a little surprised that she can win the championship in the horse race 2 months later. Could she surpass those herdsmen who grew up on horseback in these 2 months? Anna carefully gets on the horse's back. Zhe Yitong holds the reins and walks slowly at first. After a long time, Anna feels that she gets used to the shaking of the horse's back. She asks Zhe Yitong to let go of the reins. The horse began to trot. At first Anna kept her back straight, but then the horse suddenly accelerated and she had to bend down to reduce the wind friction. The wind whistles past her ears, blowing away a purple flower that Zhe Yitong previously pinned to her ear. The cold wind on the grassland pours into Anna's neck, mouth, and nose. Her eyes are half closed. She is nervous at first, but she soon calms down. Relax. Relax your body and follow the rise and fall of the horse. Zhe Yitong shouted behind him. She doesn't know what's wrong with the horse today. It runs faster and faster, and Anna soon finds something wrong. There is panic in Zhe Yitong's eyes. She whistles and tries to stop the horse, but her horse runs faster and faster. Anna guesses that there must be an accident. What she can do at the moment is to hold the horse's neck tightly and not be shaken down. The wind becomes roaring and the horse's hooves trample on the flowers on the grassland. The original harmonious atmosphere is ruined. Zhe Yitong runs to the yurt. She has a pony at home. Although it doesn't run fast, it is better than nothing. She hopes it can catch up with Anna's horse. Anna has been very calm. Although the horse seems to be crazy, it is not the first time for her to encounter such a dangerous thing. For a moment, Anna is on the horse and she has time to think about what kind of person she used to be. Does she often encounter such dangers? Otherwise, why is she not afraid at all subconsciously? Anna relaxes her body and follows the rise and fall of the horse's back. She holds the horse's neck tightly. The grassland recedes from her sight and a silver lake appears in front of her. The crazy horse gradually slows down. When it reaches the lake, it has completely calmed down. Anna rubs her thighs, which are a little loose from the jolting, and slides down the horse's back. She heard from Dun Zhu that she found her in a coma beside a silver lake. Will it be the one in front of her? Anna is looking forward to it but also afraid. If this lake is really the place where she is saved and brought back, will there be some clues left to prove her identity? This is what Anna is looking forward to. But if she can't find anything here, she will have even less confidence to find who she is. Dun Zhu said that she can actually go to the police station to find out who she is. Anna doesn't have much hope this time. She can't even remember her name. If she has no criminal record before, it will be very difficult to find her identity among more than 1 billion people of Huaxia only by comparing her face. The most important thing is that a voice in her heart seems to be shouting that she has to rely on her own strength to find the Anna before she lost her memory. Otherwise, things will become very troublesome. The surface of the lake is shining with cold silver light under the sun. It is as calm as a glass mirror. Anna walks to the lake and sees many messy footprints in the wetland. She knows that there should be a lot of animals drinking water in this lake, which means the lake water is fine. Anna reaches out and touches the lake water. It is so cold that her fingers are almost frozen. Is this a lake formed by the fusion of snow and water? It is so cold. She rubs her hands and blows hot air into her palms. She moves her hands and feet and starts to search carefully by the lake. Pushing away the dense water grass, Anna doesn't miss any small place. She walks along the river bank for a few miles and finds a few very shallow footprints on the west bank of the lake. They don't seem to be from the past few days. She puts her feet on them and the footprints roughly match. A trace of joy creeps onto Anna's cheeks. She knows that she should be in the right place. She searched the water plants near the footprints, but did not find anything valuable. Anna ponders. Is she wrong? It shouldn't be. Her eyes fall on the silvery surface of the lake. Looking closer, the lake is clear and she can see fish and water grass. Anna's eyes flash. At the bottom of the lake a few meters away from the shore, there is a black backpack lying quietly. Most of it is covered by the water grass. There are few people here and coincidentally, a black backpack appears at the bottom of the lake. Anna feels that she becomes short of breath. She has no time to think about why she has such good eyesight. She has jumped into the silver lake. That backpack is likely to prove her identity and help her find her true self. The lake water is so cold that Anna almost cramps. She has to take back the backpack before she is frozen. However, it seems that God is against her. The shoulder strap of the backpack is stuck on the rotten roots at the bottom of the lake. Anna can't get rid of it for a while and the air in her lungs is rapidly decreasing. She is in a very dangerous situation. Zaitong finally follows the traces on the small horse. Only the horse Anna rode just now is leisurely eating grass by the lake. Anna can't see the beautiful figure of Anna. Anna! Anna! Zaitong jumps off the horse and runs along the lake, shouting. There are wolves on the grassland. Although it is daytime, sometimes the hungry wild wolves will not choose the time to attack. The little girl shouts for a while and her heart is full of despair. Is Anna really eaten by wolves? She covers her knees with her hands and bursts into tears. There is a splash of water from the west of the lake. Anna, wet, jumps out of the water with a backpack. Zaitong is surprised and happy. She runs quickly to that side. Ajia, Ajia, you are not dead. Ajia is the name Tibetans call their sister. Zaitong is surprised and happy. She calls Ajia, which she has already admitted in her heart. Chapter 330. Anna is frozen in the middle of swimming. Zaitong steps on the water and swims down. She pulls Anna to the shore. Are you crazy? How dare you go to the Silver Lake? You will freeze to death. Zaitong doesn't care about her wet pants. Looking at Anna's frozen mouth, she almost cries again. At this time, she doesn't have much strength to explain. Anna holds the black backpack tightly and says with difficulty, make a fire, bake, bake. Zaitong nods and puts her in the pasture. She knows how low the temperature of the Silver Lake is. Anna is so stiff that she can't even get on a horse's back. Even if she can get on a horse, she will get sick if she goes back in the wind. Anna is not as strong as the herdsman's daughters. She can't stand the cold. Making a fire on the grassland is both easy and difficult. It mainly depends on whether you can find dry cow dung as soon as possible. Today seems to be Anna's day of suffering, but it is Zaitong's lucky day. She walks for dozens of meters and finds a big piece of dried cow dung. She smiles through tears and puts the dried cow dung in her arms. She runs a few steps and finds some big dead branches by the lake. There are no trees on the grassland. These dead branches must have been washed down from the mountain with the snow. She feels very lucky. Dry cow dung is the best to make a fire. There is no smell when it burns and it has a fragrance. It is the most important fuel for grassland herdsmen. With her back to the wind, Zheitong strikes a match and carefully ignites the dung. Then she puts the dead branches on top of the dung to make it easier to burn. The wood is steamed by the lake so it is not very dry. Fortunately, it can still be ignited. When the fire gets bigger and the warm flame burns, Anna's blue lips are still trembling. However, she has the strength to reach out her hand closer to the fire. She feels better and takes off her leather coat. She wrings out the ice water on her hair. Zheitong sees that it works. She runs to find more dead branches and slowly controls the fire. There is not much firewood, but it burns for an hour. Zheitong's pants are all dry. Anna has been soaking in the lake for too long and her clothes are only 80% dry. Zheitong is going to collect firewood, but Anna, whose face has turned rosy, stops her. Don't go. The sun is about to set. We have to go back, or your mother and Nana will be worried. I'm not cold anymore. What she said was the truth. Although her clothes were not completely dry yet, after being in the fire for so long, her whole body was warm. The chill brought by the lake water had been driven away. If she rode the horse back, her clothes should be completely dry under the wind. Seeing that Lin Luoran has the strength to speak, Zheitong is relieved. After all, she is a 12-year-old girl and she is very curious. Now she doesn't worry anymore. Seeing that Anna goes down the lake to find the black bag, she asks her what is in it. Anna smiles bitterly. I just suspect that I lost it before I lost my memory. It may have clues about my identity. As for what it contains, I really don't know. Hearing this, Zheitong urges her to open it. Anna nods and opens the zipper of her backpack nervously. A pile of colorful banknotes that have been completely soaked by the lake water is exposed. It looks like there are tens of thousands of huaxia coins. Anna is disappointed, and Zheitong is even more disappointed. She gently pinches the banknotes with her fingers and they are all pasted together. It seems that they can't be dried and used again. Anna looks at her and her disappointment is beyond words. She pokes her forehead. Little money grubber, you are more distressed than me. Are you short of money? Zheitong nods. Mom said that Nana's eyes need surgery and tens of thousands of yuan is enough. How nice it would be if the money is not soaked. Anna hugs her. You are such a good girl. Come on, let's continue to have a look. Maybe there is something valuable. She simply turns the backpack over and pours out all the items in it. A cap, a pair of women's leather boots in her size, a few packs of compressed biscuits, and a pile of soaked banknotes are all the things in the backpack. There is no ID card, no driver's license, nothing to prove Anna's identity. She picks up the leather boots. They are wet, but they are not soaked. It can be seen that the quality is very good. Plus a pile of soaked banknotes, she should be very rich. It is a pity that she didn't know Zheitong's family before she lost her memory. Otherwise, she can use the money to treat Zheitong's Nana. Anna is a little disappointed, but she never thinks that she probably didn't know herdsmen like Zheitong's family in Tibet before she lost her memory. Why would they use the money to treat Zheitong's Nana for no reason? The cap can also be used. Anna also picks it up. Thinking that these are things she used before, Anna can't leave them behind. Zheitong doesn't want to waste them. She puts a few packs of unsoaked compressed biscuits in her arms. It is getting late. They are about to go back when they hear the sound of horses' hooves in the distance. Who raises so many horses? Anna looks into the distance and sees a group of black galloping horses coming from the direction of the snow mountain. All of them are strong and strong. Wherever they run, a strong wind blows down the nearby pasture. Under the setting sun, the leading horse is a white horse without any hair. Because it is so fast, its four hooves seem to be leaping in the air. It seems to fly on the top of the grass. Other brown and black galloping horses, as well as the faintly discernible snow-capped mountains in the distance, the glittering surface of the lake nearby, the green grass, and the orange-red sunset, all served as a foil to this snow-white horse. Not only Anna and Zaitong, but also the two domesticated horses they ride are fascinated by it. The white horse is so outstanding that people can't move their eyes away from it. Until this group of hundreds of horses quickly drinks water by the silver lake and disappears in the direction of the snow, Zaitong, who is shocked, comes to herself. Anna, Agia, what we just saw is the horse of heaven. It lives on the snow mountain. It is white and as fast as lightning. In the legend of herding horses, it doesn't deserve to be owned by mortals. Zaitong is so excited that she sings and dances on the spot. If it weren't for the fact that Anna drags her to the back of the horse as it gets late, she suspects that Zaitong would go crazy all night by the lake. Seeing the horse of heaven, by chance, has been a hot topic for several days in the small yurt, especially Zaitong's Nana. She tells a lot of legends about her childhood in Tibetan. Zaitong acts as an interpreter, and Anna has a general idea about it. Even Dunju scolds Anna for jumping into the lake to find her backpack. Anna knows that Dunju cares about her, so she doesn't talk back. Instead, she smiles embarrassedly. Hearing that she hasn't found the clue of her identity, even Nana comforts her. She just needs to stay at home. Their family doesn't lack food. Anna feels tears in her eyes. Dunju's leather goods for the horse racing and the cattle and sheep to be sold have all been selected. Anna is amazed by Dunju's horsemanship. She no longer thinks highly of herself and wants to win the race. Anna is amazed by Dunju's horsemanship. However, it's always good to learn one more skill. Under the whip of Zaitong, Anna still tries her best to learn horsemanship. Within a month, Anna can also play a few simple tricks on the back of a horse. Even Nana, who has poor eyesight, praises her for her great talent. You must have been a girl on the grassland in your previous life. When Nana smiles, all the wrinkles on her face will stretch out. Chungkingkaduo, where the horse race will be held, is in the north of Naku town. It is hundreds of miles away from the pastoral area where Zaitong's yurt is located. Herdsmen are used to carrying their belongings with them. Therefore, Dunju has been preparing to move in 2 weeks. Their family doesn't have a cart, so they have to go to Naku town with nearby herdsmen. Dunju says she is going to borrow a cart. However, after a long time, she is carried back by several herdsmen. Anna has been here for a long time and has seen several herdsmen living nearby. She is very surprised to see them carrying Dunju back. It turns out that Dunju fell down from the horse and hurt her foot. These herdsmen think it is a fracture. They are going to ask Nana's opinion and are going to send Dunju to the hospital. Anna sees that Dunju's face is pale because of the pain. Her healthy forehead is covered with sweat. Anna quickly checks Dunju's leg. In her memory, people with fractures can't move easily. Anna touches Dunju's leg and finds that the bone is fine. However, Dunju is in so much pain that she is afraid it is not a simple muscle strain. Bone fracture. But Dunju needs to go to the hospital for an X-ray. Nana is old and Zaitong is young. Dunju is in a semi-coma. Anna is the only outsider in this family. She takes some money from Nana and follows herdsmen to send Dunju to the nearest hospital. The nearest hospital is also far away. Zaitong holds Anna's hand. Anna's calmness makes her braver. Mom will be fine, right? Zaitong is worried until they go to the hospital and take an X-ray. Sure enough, Dunju's bone fracture is what Anna guessed. Dunju is lying on the hospital bed with a layer of plaster on her calf. Our family can't make it to the horse race this year. Zaitong is unhappy. It's not that she is unfilial and wants her mom to go on with a broken leg. It's just that the prize money she planned is ruined. This year's mixed race is finally held and the prize money is only 100,000 yuan. Dunju's horsemanship is famous within 100 miles. She still has a great chance of winning. How long will Nana's operation be delayed? Anna knows what Zaitong is thinking. However, her horsemanship is limited and Zaitong is not old enough to participate in the race. As a beginner, Anna can't make up for the gap in horsemanship in 1 or 2 days. Although Zaitong's horse is strong, it is just an ordinary herding horse. Chapter 331. The night sky on the grassland is very high, unlike the basin in the center of Chuan province which is cloudy all year round. Coupled with industrial pollution, it is more and more difficult to see stars in the sky. Dunju leaves the hospital the next day because she doesn't have a fracture. She takes a lot of medicine from the hospital and goes home. Dunju breaks her leg, so the herding job falls on Zaitong and Anner. They can manage the cattle and sheep by working together. Because she can't attend the horse race, Zaitong can't solve the problem of Nana's surgery fee in a short time. Zaitong is a little unhappy when she swings the horsewhip. She sees Anner coming home from herding. She collects the scraps of leather goods and weaves them into ropes. Zaitong doesn't pay much attention to it because she is in a bad mood. Zaitong, do you still want to attend the horse race? Anner shakes the rope in her hand to make sure it is strong enough. Zaitong pouts. She really wants to go, but her Nana is old and weak. Her mother also breaks her leg. She doesn't even know how to attend the trade fair, let alone the horse race. Anner looks down at her clothes. She fishes the leather boots from the bottom of the lake and the rope is absolutely strong. There are a few pieces of roasted mutton in the leather bag. When she is herding these days, she deliberately rides far away and explores the Silver Lake for a long time. With such thorough preparation, she should have some confidence, right? Zaitong is stunned by her smiling face. She asks in confusion, Ajia, what are you laughing at? Anner raises the rope to indicate Zaitong not to stretch it. Zaitong doesn't understand at first. Anner asks her in a low voice where there is the most fertile pasture on the grassland. Zaitong suddenly realizes it. She opens her eyes wide with a mixed look of excitement and surprise on her face. Ajia, you are too bold. It won't work. Anner makes a shushing gesture to her. How can I know if I can succeed if I don't try? Come on, let's walk and talk. Dunju's voice comes from the yurt. Anner raises her voice and tells her and Nana that she and Zaitong are ready to set off immediately. Anner and Zaitong, who are worried, drive the cattle and sheep out as usual. Nana stands beside the yurt and watches them disappear. Ajia, can this work? Zaitong tramples on the wildflowers in her hands. The pink and purple flower juice gets into her fingernails. The grass under her feet is flattened. Anner nods. When you go back, persuade your mom Dunju and Nana to take other herdsmen's carts. You are responsible for driving cattle and sheep to Naku town. If things go well, I will come before the horse race. Zaitong pouts. What if it doesn't go well? Anner bursts into laughter. Even if I can't succeed here, my family still needs to exchange some goods. I still have to go to the trade fair. When you go back, don't tell them about the horse race. Just tell them that I've found some clues about my identity and that I'll be out for a few days. Zaitong is in a dilemma. She grew up on the grassland, so she knows how difficult it is to catch wild horses. She has also heard that some people catch wild horses. It takes a group of grassland men to divide the wild horses and then they surround and catch them. But in the little girl's subconsciousness, she also thinks that Anner is very smart and knowledgeable. She won't do things that she is not sure about. Can she really do it? Seeing the little girl's look, Anner knows that Zaitong has been convinced. She adds fuel to the fire. She analyzes the pros and cons for Zaitong and promises that she will protect herself. Zaitong finally agrees. It turns out that opposite the Silver Lake, there is the most fertile pasture on the grassland. However, there is a story about the Silver Lake, so ordinary herdsmen are not willing to come here. Anner pats Zaitong and asks her to drive cattle and sheep to other places to graze. There is too much noise here. Wild horses will not come here to drink water and eat grass. Zaitong gives the small dagger that she has always carried with her since she was a child to Anner for self-defense. She walks away, looking back 3 times at every step. She drives cattle and sheep and slowly disappears on the slope of the grassland. Anna pats the pony she rides. The pony's breath is warm on her face. It is a little reluctant to leave her. Anna makes up her mind to drive it away. The pony runs to the direction where Zaitong grazes. Only Anna is left here. She ties up her braid and walks to the opposite side of the Silver Lake. She carefully selects a fertile land with the dagger and slowly uncovers the pasture along with the ground. Her movements are gentle and every step is very careful. After a long time, she completely uncovers a pasture that is bigger than a person. Then Anna begins to dig on the ground where the pasture is uncovered. She throws the excavated soil into the lake little by little. When there is a big pit on the ground that is big enough for a person to lie in, Anna lies down and tries it. Finally, she shows a satisfied smile. At this time, the sky is full of sunset. Anna works for a long time and finally feels hungry. She takes out the mutton in the leather bag and gnaws it silently. What kind of person was she before? Why can she think of such steps as soon as she thinks of catching horses? Ordinary women don't even dare to think about such a dangerous thing. Only she can calmly and confidently make a plan to catch the horse. Zaitong and the other two should be on the way now, right? Anna finishes eating the mutton and drinks some water from the Silver Lake. Looking at the hoof prints, this herd of wild horses hasn't eaten or drunk water for several days. If the pasture near the Silver Lake is really the most delicious on the grassland, even if other wild horses don't come to eat it, the white horse of heaven will definitely come. It is the king of horses. Of course, it deserves to eat the fattest pasture on the grassland. Anna shows a resolute expression. Man proposes, God disposes. She has to make some contributions to this family so that Dunju can save her and take her in. If it is to catch ordinary wild horses, Anna has great strength and she is 70% or 80% sure. However, according to her riding skills, wild horses are not slow, but it is still difficult for her to win. Only the white horse of heaven, Anna doesn't want the little girl Zaitong to worry, so she doesn't tell her that she plans to catch it. It is the sacred horse of heaven in the eyes of herdsmen. She is only 10% sure to catch the horse of heaven. Anna spends the first night by the lake and she almost freezes herself into a popsicle. At night on the grassland, the temperature drops sharply. She has to hide in the pit she dug during the day. She also moves some water grass to cover her body and makes a vent. She makes do with it all night. It's not until the morning comes that Anna feels relieved after stretching her hands and feet. For a moment, she vaguely remembers that she once had such an experience on a day of ice and snow. She also dug a cave to protect herself from the cold. However, when she thinks about it carefully, the memory disappears. This day, she has been carefully guarding the Silver Lake. She doesn't even see a lamb, let alone a herd of wild horses drinking water. Anna doesn't know why she is so patient. When she is hungry, she eats some mutton. When she is thirsty, she drinks some water from the Silver Lake. Her activity area is not near the pit. Before finding the wild horses, she has to try to keep the original appearance of the trap. The sun rises and sets. It is the third day in a flash. On this day, Anna is a little anxious. In the evening, she finally knows the reason why she is anxious all day. 3 wild wolves with green eyes come to the Silver Lake to drink water. Anna clenches the sharp dagger in her hand. The wild wolves have already smelled the breath of a living person. They surround her in the hay pile where she hides. Anna breathes hard. If she is surrounded by the wild wolves, it will be extremely disadvantageous for her. She gritted her teeth and suddenly pounced on a wild wolf without any warning. Her movements were fast, and her body seemed to have a conditioned reflex. She dodged the sharp wolf's teeth and used the dagger to stab the wild wolf's neck. The warm wolf blood sprays all over her leather skirt. Anna has already noticed another wolf pouncing on her from the corner of her eyes. She kicks the wild wolf so hard that it rolls over on the grass and can't get up for a long time. The other wolf is obviously scared. It probably doesn't expect that the fact that a lone human is food in their impression will be changed by a woman one day. This food is so powerful that 2 wolves are injured in one fight. Anner holds the dagger and stares at the third wolf without flinching. After a stalemate of half an hour, the wild wolf whose neck is stabbed is about to bleed to death. The remaining 2 wolves are finally frightened and retreat with the stabbed wolf on their backs. Before leaving, they turn their heads and look at Anner deeply, as if they want to remember her. After being vigilant for another half an hour, Anner is so weak that she almost collapses to the ground after making sure that the wild wolves will not come back. Stabbing the wolf and kicking, her movements are very smooth. These are all the instinctive potential of this body. Is it possible that she was really a hunter before? Anner shakes her head and smiles bitterly. What era is it? There are few people who hunt for a living, let alone women who hunt for a living. She looks at her hands and finds that there are no calluses. She doesn't look like a hunter at all. She frowns at the wolf's blood all over the ground. The blood here can be covered with soil, but the blood on her leather skirt and boots can only be washed immediately. Anner washes her boots and the surface of her leather skirt with the biting cold. She is hesitating whether to make a fire to keep out the cold tonight. In the distance, there comes the uniform sound of hooves, like that of an army approaching the city. This piece of grass is shaking. Thousands of troops and horses, thousands of troops and horses. Dust is flying all over the sky. Anner's expression changes. She throws the most smelly mutton into the lake. She runs to the trap quickly. Finally, she has time to hide in the pit before the horses cross the grassy slope. She covers herself with a large piece of pasture that she peels off. The sound of hooves is like a military drum, beating Anner's heart. Chapter 332. The setting sun in the west gilded the silver lake with a layer of faint golden light. In the earth-shaking clip-clop of a horse, a pure white horse with a fluttering mane appeared on the grassy slope in the blink of an eye. The grassy slope is 200 or 300 meters away from the silver lake. The white horse gallops so fast that it arrives at the lake in a second. The horse's hooves sound behind it in unison. It elegantly lowers its head and takes a sip when drinking water. Its tail swings in a beautiful arc in the air. It is perfect both in speed and appearance. Anner feels the weakening of the earthquake and knows that the horses must have arrived at the lake. What are they doing now? Playing or drinking water? Or, do they find something wrong? Anner holds her breath and hides in the pit motionlessly. The pasture covering her has been peeled off along with the soil layer. It has been 3 days and there is no sign of withering of the pasture. Anner has to admit that she is very lucky. If she waits for another 2 days, the most fertile pasture she has deliberately chosen will inevitably lose water. Even Zaitong's horses will not appreciate them when there is plenty of pasture in summer, let alone the proud horse of heaven. Will the horse of heaven come here? Anner tries to keep herself calm. In fact, it is every human's instinct to think nonsense. Especially in such a situation, Anner always worries about gains and losses. The white horse of heaven doesn't leave immediately today. While other wild horses are drinking water, it turns to the other side of the lake alone and jumps into the silver lake. It cleans its mane with the cold lake water. Through the flowing grass, Anner sharply sees a flash of white jumping over her head. She is short of breath and can hardly be proud. At that moment, the horse of heaven is less than 1 meter away from her. However, before she thinks about whether to jump or not, it has jumped over the pasture where she is hiding and jumped into the lake. It is so fast that Anner, who is full of confidence, has no time to react at all. Calm down. She must calm down. Today the wild horses don't come and go like the wind. They are very likely to eat by the lake. If she can't calm down at this time, all her previous efforts will be in vain. Anner takes a deep breath. The Pegasus playing in the lake seems to notice something and looks over. The wind from the lake blew past, and the 2 feet of lush pasture here swayed slightly with the wind. The herd of wild horses was powerful, and when they moved together, even the wild wolves on the grassland did not dare to have any ideas. Seeing nothing unusual, the vigilant Pegasus decided not to stay any longer. It walked out of the silver lake and shook off the water drops on its mane. After being washed by the lake water, its fur was even more attractive, like the color of the snow-capped mountains in the distance. The chewing of the wild horses suddenly ceased. They had discovered a spot of particularly good pasture, and were crowding round it for the enjoyment of their leader. The Pegasus let out a short breath. He finally remembered to give his subordinates some face. It lowered its head slightly and rolled the tender top of the grass into its mouth. When it ate, there was almost no sound, and it ate slowly and leisurely. No matter how smart the Pegasus was, it would never have thought that there was a malicious woman hiding under this patch of grass. When it was reluctant to leave, it gradually relaxed its vigilance and bowed its head to eat the last mouthful of grass. Anner, who was determined to get it, suddenly became violent. The grass was blown away, and the Pegasus was frightened. It jumped away and ran to the grassy slope in a few breaths. However, it was too late. On the back of the Pegasus, Anner has bent over and tightly hugged the Pegasus' neck. Her cheeks are flushed with excitement and she is short of breath. Her hands are tightly holding a leather rope. The rope is a noose. As soon as she tightens it, it is firmly tied around the neck of the Pegasus. Anner can't believe that she is sitting on the back of the Pegasus at this moment. The Pegasus was frightened and turned around to run away. Anner thought she had completely failed, but her body burst out with more potential than when she fought with the wild wolf. She only remembered that her body was so light that she almost flew on the top of the grass. She kicked the ground, turned over, and mounted the Pegasus. All her movements were so smooth and flawless. If it weren't for the fact that the timing was not right, Anner would definitely think that her movements at that time were beyond the limits of human physical strength, reaction, coordination, and speed. Feeling the fierce resistance of the Pegasus, Anner comes back to her senses. She knows that the battle has just begun. Taming the most arrogant and untamed Pegasus in the legend of herdsmen is not only a test of her physical strength and skills, but also a tug-of-war of willpower. Persistence, only persistence, she must not give up. Zaitong must still be in Naku town, beside the track of the horse race. She is looking at the direction of the Silver Lake with expectation. The wind roars in her ears and the resistance of the Pegasus becomes more and more intense. Anner's braid is loosened and her long hair is blown up and down by the wind. She grasps the strong leather rope tightly with both hands. The Pegasus is struggling so hard that she feels that her fingers are about to be broken even though she is wearing leather gloves. A group of dumbfounded wild horses see that a human is riding on the back of the Pegasus, and then they run away madly. They don't realize until the Pegasus climbs over 2 grassy hills. They rush to catch up with the Pegasus. This huge momentum scares away many small grassland animals foraging for food. The Pegasus is tied up and it can't get rid of the person on its back for the time being. It loses its usual calmness and self-control. When passing by the pastoral area with the wild horses, some stunned herdsmen occasionally see this shocking scene and quickly pinch themselves. It's okay to see the Pegasus, but there is a woman on the back of the Pegasus. Honest and arrogant herdsmen can't bear to be disappointed. They whip hard and try to catch up with the Pegasus to see what is going on. But they are soon left behind by the wild horses at a speed that is beyond their reach. These herding horses are also the important property of every herdsman's family. In order to survive the cold winter every year, they have to be fat and strong. How can they compete with the wild horses? The white Pegasus in the lead led the vast group of wild horses and ran in the direction of the snowy mountain. Anner on its back tightly purses her mouth, and there is a stubbornness in her eyes that will never give up. 3 days later, in Chungkingkaduo, north of Naku town, thousands of Mongolian yurts are scattered on the edge of the grassland. This place is close to the snow mountain. Every year, in addition to herdsmen's families from hundreds of miles around, many tourists come here because of its reputation. The trading fair has been held for a few days. Herdsmen and other Tibetans in fancy clothes are all smiling happily, showing their white teeth. This year's trading fair is very successful and they should all have gained something. Zaitong's Mongolian yurt is not gorgeous, but her Nana's horn comb is excellent and it is very popular with tourists. With the help of other herdsmen, Zaitong's family also sells the cattle and sheep that they are going to sell. Dunju's foot is injured, so Zaitong's family also buys necessities for the whole year. In theory, her family's plan for this trip to Chongqingkaduo has been completed, but Zaitong is still unhappy. Today is the day when the horse racing fair officially begins. On this day, the riders and horses in the final will be decided through a competition. Zaitong quietly signed up for Anner a few days ago, but until now, there is still no news about Anner. The staff of the competition has come to urge them several times. Zaitong begs them to give her more time. Seeing that Zaitong is young, they don't embarrass her and agree to change Anner's number to the last. Even so, the day quickly came to an end amidst his anxiety. Your family might as well give up. The riders and horses are not in place. We can't do anything about it. Zaitong shakes her head. How can Nana wait until next year? Who knows if her eye disease will worsen or not? She looks into the distance. The sun is about to set. The last group of contestants is preparing, but Anner is still nowhere to be seen. Will Anner and Ajia really not come? Zaitong is very disappointed. If Ajia can't make it to the horse racing fair, why should she stay here? After all, she is only 12 years old and has a childish temper. Feeling disappointed, she wants to go back immediately to persuade Dunju to go home. The referee shouts, "Ready," loudly. The riders lie on the back of their horses and are ready. There is a sudden commotion in the crowd. The referee hasn't waved his flag yet, so he can't help but look at the reaction of the crowd. On the green grassland, a graceful female knight lies on the back of a horse and rushes to the field like a flash of lightning. The grass is blue in the sky. The snow-white horse seems to be as pure as a snowy mountain. People can't bear to look at it. Ajia, Anner, Ajia. Chapter 333. Anner rides the horse of heaven in the dusk. She looks like a white lightning crossing the sky. Because it is the last group of the preliminary competition, the audience has been tired of watching. Now they are attracted by the perfect cooperation between the beautiful white horse and the heroic female rider. Without any suspense, Anner rides the horse of heaven and wins easily in the grassland men's dissatisfaction. In the praise, Anner jumps off the horse and leads the white horse to Zaitong. The little girl blushes terribly. She is so excited that she doesn't know what to say. Now she realizes that Anner is not going to catch wild horses. She has been aiming for the horse of heaven from the beginning. Ajia, how dare you, Anner covers her mouth and doesn't let her finish her words, indicating that there are too many people here. Zaitong nods. Let's move it back to the tent. What if it is stolen? She says and goes to lead the white horse. The white horse stands still and doesn't even move its hooves. Zaitong pouts, Ajia, it only recognizes you. Anner smiles and touches the mane of the white horse. Of course, it only recognizes her as its master. In front of people, they only see her riding a horse. No one can imagine how much she has suffered in the snow mountains in order to tame these so-called horses of heaven. Thinking of this, Anner's victory this time was not because she tamed the white horse, but because she defeated herself. They lead the white horse into the yurt. Dunju and Nana are overjoyed to see her back. You are so bold to catch wild horses. Let us see. Are you okay? Nana can't help wiping her tears. Dunju's Chinese language is not good. She is so anxious that she wants to stand up and check Anner's body. Anner avoids the important and talks about the trivial. Of course, she doesn't mention that this is a horse of heaven. White horses are not rare. Horses of heaven are magnificent. If it is not a famous saying, ordinary people can't associate it with horses of heaven. Besides, who will believe that a woman can tame a horse of heaven? This night, the yurt is very lively. Anna goes out with Zaitong. Herdsmen sing and dance around the bonfire. They all recognize Anna as the owner of the white horse and invite her to dance with Zaitong. Under the bonfire, everyone is smiling happily. Anna feels that she has really integrated into the atmosphere. After laughing for a while, Anna and Zaitong both take a lot of roast lamb back. The four of them share it. At night, Zaitong sleeps next to Anna. She quietly asks Anna about the name of the white horse. Anna thinks of the pure snow mountains. The white horse is like a cloud, floating and holy when it runs. How about White Cloud? Zaitong mutters in a low voice. She seems to think that this name is too common. However, she can't think of a more appropriate name at the moment, so she has to agree. White Cloud seems to understand their conversation outside the tent. It wags its tail. Anna is not sure whether it likes this name or not. Who cared? She was the master, wasn't she? Dunju and others are all asleep. Anna touches the outside of her thigh and presses it. She feels so painful that the corner of her mouth twitches. White Cloud is so stubborn. They have been in a stalemate for 3 days, but it can still throw her into a rock. There must be a lot of bruises all over his body, but who knew when they would heal? After riding the horse here and taming White Cloud for a few days, Anna finally falls into a deep sleep. In an inconspicuous Mongolian yurt, the bonfire outside is reflected. It is brightly lit without lights. A man dressed as a herdsman gets in and tells the boss the news that Anna rides a white horse to the competition today at the last moment. Boss, the white horse is obviously very powerful. With a little training, it will not be inferior to those precious racing horses. It will definitely meet your requirements. The middle-aged boss smiles stealthily. A big golden tooth with exquisite craftsmanship is revealed on the upper side of his mouth. Not only the horse is good, but the rider is also a rare beauty. I didn't expect that there is such a woman with Jiangnan style on the grassland. The man rolls his eyes and whispers a few words in the ear of the gold-toothed boss. Both of them show a smile of understanding. The next day is the semifinals. White Cloud looks down on other opponents and runs past the finish line easily. Zaitong's hands are red from clapping. Even Dunju and Nana support each other to watch the race. They get along with each other day and night. This family with a simple population structure has already regarded Anna as a family member. The three of them are very happy for her victory. White Cloud is so awesome. Zaitong's eyes almost turn into stars. Only she and Anna in the family know the truth. This is a Pegasus. She carefully touches White Cloud's tail. White Cloud doesn't kick her as she imagined, it totally despises the little girl Zaitong. Anna smooths its mane. White Cloud will definitely win the championship. It will get 100,000 yuan bonus. Let's not rush back. Let's arrange Nana to be hospitalized. Before winter comes, we can have the operation so that she can recover. Nana's turbid old eyes are full of tears. She grabs Anna with big rough hands and doesn't know what to say. Anna changes the topic. She is willing to do something for this kind family. Dunju is willing to take her in as an outsider with amnesia. Nana and Zaitong are very kind to her and patiently teach her how to survive on the grassland. Anna thinks that if she had a family before she lost her memory, she would also hope that someone could take care of them for her like she does for Dunju's family. Nana often says that good deeds will be rewarded. Anna firmly believes in this. The four of them are about to go back to the yurt when a herdsman suddenly jumps out of the haystack nearby. 200,000 yuan for your horse. The man is quite arrogant. He suddenly says he wants to buy a horse, which makes the four of them stunned. Seeing Anna and others, the rich herdsman is not as excited as they imagined. The rich herdsman is stunned. Anna smiles politely, "We don't sell horses." The man's face changes. Anna and others go back together. It's normal for herdsmen to value White Cloud's handsome horse. If White Cloud wins the championship of the horse race tomorrow, it's possible that the rich herdsman will offer a higher price. However, Dun Zhu and others are not greedy people. Anna brought White Cloud from the snow mountain and tamed it herself. She loves it as a treasure. How can they sell it? As long as they win the horse race, they can get 100,000 yuan bonus for Nana's operation. There's no need to sell the horse. Anna sticks her face to White Cloud and smiles like a flower. The herdsman is unwilling to give up. He disappears into the numerous yurts in the blink of an eye. The middle-aged man with golden teeth hears the reply and thinks for a while. They want to take advantage of the horse race tomorrow to raise the price. The man lowers his head. Boss, you have a sharp eye. The man with golden teeth smiles. Then you know what to do, right? The man lowers his head even more. Of course. Make sure she can't win the championship. Chapter 334. If you want to affect the performance of a horse, the track and the horse itself are the easiest to tamper with. After all, this is a carnival of grassland herdsmen. If someone tampers with the track and is found out, it will be a slap in the face of honest grassland herdsmen. Besides, if there is a danger on the track, the horse itself will be hurt. Therefore, the man who works for the gold-toothed boss chooses the latter. As long as the horse can't participate in the race as scheduled, it won't win the championship. He sneakily sprinkles some powder into White Cloud's forage and quietly sneaks back to the tent. When he is far away, Anna comes out of the yurt and stares at the brown powder in the forage thoughtfully. She sleeps very little because she is sore all over and her hearing is better than ordinary people. The sound of White Cloud shaking its tail uneasily arouses Anna's vigilance. In the night, looking out through the gap of the felt, she can only see the back of a herdsman leaving. Dun Zhu and others have already fallen asleep, so Anna doesn't say anything. They think you are an ordinary stupid horse. You are picky about food. You don't even like bad pasture. How can you eat this inferior stuff mixed with something? White Cloud's eyes are wet, and the shadow of the moon in the sky is reflected in it. It ignores its bad master who laughs at it and takes a nap leisurely. Anna dips some powder and smells it. She smiles. It's croton powder. How old-fashioned. After she said it, she was stunned. It was really strange. Everything that was contaminated with medicine seemed to be engraved in her bones. Could it be that before she lost her memory, she was a doctor? There are no more clues. She changes all the forage, touches White Cloud's neck, and goes back to sleep. After a good night's sleep, Zaitong puts on new clothes and red coral beads. Dun Zhu and Nana both change into nice clothes. They are going to the racetrack to cheer for Anna. Anna's eyes stay on Zaitong's coral necklace for a moment. Zaitong asks her immediately, "What's wrong? Is it not nice?" Anna shakes her head. "I just vaguely remember seeing a big red coral somewhere. When I remember it later, I will make a red coral necklace for you, okay?" Zaitong nods and is very happy. Dun Zhu looks at Anna with pity in her eyes. Anna has lost her memory for so long. She doesn't know when she can remember her identity. Hearing that Anna promised Zaitong a red coral necklace, Dun Zhu only thought that Anna was coaxing the little girl and didn't take it seriously. The four of them talk and laugh. Zaitong holds Dun Zhu, Anna holds White Cloud, and Su holds Nana to the field. There are many herdsmen around the circled field. White Cloud looks handsome and energetic without any sign of diarrhea. The herdsman who drugged it turns around and leaves. Anna has been watching around. When she sees a few people quietly withdraw from the crowd, she knows what is going on. Now that White Cloud had been targeted, she had to make other plans after receiving the prize money. Anna turns over and gets on the horse. Her neat movement makes everyone praise her. White Cloud's mane flutters high and tangles with Anna's hair. She bends down and whispers in White Cloud's ear. "Run slowly. If you run at full speed, you will bully other horses." It wasn't bullying the horse, but it was too eye-catching. White Cloud snorts. It is very dissatisfied with its owner. Its 4 hooves are digging the soil on the grass. The small flag falls. Anner pulls the reins and White Cloud rushes out instantly. Its limbs are slender and powerful. Although it tries to suppress itself, it still runs ahead of other horses. The gold-toothed man stands far away from the crowd. He is very satisfied with White Cloud's performance. He also appreciates the heroism of the female rider. How's the investigation going? The man flatters, Dunju's family is poor. There is no man in charge of the family. As for the female rider, she was picked up by her family. Her name is Anner. I heard that she lost her memory. She is not a threat. Lost her memory. The gold-toothed middle-aged boss doesn't say anything. The final has come to an end. Anner pulls the reins and White Cloud jumps up a grassy slope. It crosses the finish line only one body length ahead of the second horse. White Cloud, White Cloud. Anner. The white horse wins. Herdsmen gather around and throw Anner into the air together, cheering. In the cheers of the crowd, the organizer of the horse race gives Anner a prize of 100,000 yuan. There will be a celebration party in the evening, but Anner politely declines. Shall we go to the hospital now? Dunju hesitates. As soon as Anner comes back, she persuades them to entrust the cattle, sheep, and yurts to an acquaintance. The 4 of them go to the hospital first. Anner nods. Now we have enough money. Of course, we need to get treatment as soon as possible. Nana's eye disease has always been Dunju's concern. Anner starts from this point. Dunju's doubt only persists for a while and then she readily agrees. So the 4 of them start packing. Before dawn, they entrust the luggage to an acquaintance. Anner asks White Cloud to go back to Snow Mountain first. At dawn, they call a taxi in the town and go to the district hospital. The hospital checks the equipment and recommends them to go to Lhasa, saying that the equipment is not good. Anner takes Dunju and the other 2 to transfer to the hospital. They pay the money and arrange the operation next Tuesday. Anner takes another X-ray of Dunju's foot to make sure that the bone is healing. Anner is relieved. There are 2 patients in the family. Acquaintances have also come to visit them. Nana is quite popular. Knowing that there is no staff in their family now, they have orphans, widows, the old, the weak, the sick and the disabled. They promise that they will help take care of the cattle and sheep. Letting one sheep or driving a flock of sheep is the same. Dunju's family does not have many cattle and sheep, and some of them have been sold. It is not a troublesome thing to take care of them for a while. So Anner takes Dunju's family to live in Lhasa with peace of mind. Nana's operation is successful. After all, she is old and recovers slowly. The medical facilities in Naku are not perfect. Anner proposes to stay in Lhasa for a while and go back after Nana passes the recovery period. Zaitong strongly agrees with this proposal. Anner takes her to almost visit the whole of Lhasa. The little girl who grew up on the grassland is very curious about everything in modern civilization. Zaitong also asks Anner if Lhasa is the largest city in the world. Of course, Lhasa is not the largest city in the world. Anner is a little dazed. Recently, she often sees some flashes. It seems that she has been to Lhasa before. One day, she takes Zaitong to the famous Jokhang temple again. The bodhisattva looks kind and Anner feels at peace. There is a smell of butter in the Jokhang temple. Is it the monks making butter tea? Somehow, when she passes by a young Buddhist monk, Anner feels that the monk's eyes are stagnant. She turns back and smiles. Master, do you know me? The young Buddhist monk shakes his head. Anner feels that there is a faint fragrance of flowers under the smell of butter tea. Zaitong has already skipped far away. Anner smiles apologetically and catches up with her. An old monk steps forward and asks curiously, do you know this female Tanyu? The young Buddhist monk shakes his head. I know her in the past and can foresee her in the future, but I don't know her in the present. The ordinary monk's robe can't hide the elegance of the young Buddhist monk. The old monk thinks for a long time but still can't figure out what he means. The young Buddhist monk has already walked away. After Nana's operation and observation period, Dunju's foot is almost healed. When the four of them return to the Naku grassland again, it is already late November. Winter on the grassland is about to begin. They can hardly catch up with the pasture piled up in winter. Fortunately, there are several distant neighbors to help. Anna can do 2 laborers by herself. After working hard with Dunju, the cattle and sheep at home will not starve this year. In just 3 months, the original green and fresh grassland seems to be blown yellow by the wind overnight. Knowing that someone has really come to inquire about the whereabouts of her and White Cloud, Anna is sure that her worries are not unnecessary. However, they have been away from home for more than 3 months. For an unknown horse, White Cloud, the winter in Naku is so cold that people can't stand it. Those people who are rich and want to buy horses should not pester them anymore. Anna sneaks to the direction of the Silver Lake at night. When it is extremely cold in the middle of the night, White Cloud really comes from the snow mountain. Can you bear it for a while? When I am sure that there is no danger, I will take you to run all over the grassland. White Cloud feels wronged. It rubs Anna with its head and runs back to the snow mountain. Anna goes out in the cold wind. After returning, she falls ill. She is dizzy because of the fever. Dunju and the other 2 are scared to death. Anna doesn't know what Dunju and the other 2 are worried about. When she is dizzy because of the fever, she dreams many scenes in her mind. It seems that she is in a very beautiful place where melons and fruits are fragrant all year round. Her family lives there. But when she thinks about it carefully, she will be pushed by a strange force, which makes her unable to go deeper. When she opens her eyes again, it is already 3 days later. She tells her dream in detail. Zaitong smiles first. Ajia, where can I find a place where melons and fruits are fragrant all year round? You are talking about heaven, right? Anna doesn't believe what she says first, so she has to put her thoughts aside. Seeing that she has recovered and woken up, Dunju and Mora are finally relieved. They start to prepare for the winter slaughter. There is little forage in winter, and cattle and sheep will starve and become thin. Herdsmen will choose to kill a batch of cattle and sheep in early winter. The meat is for the whole family to eat in winter, and the rest of the cattle and sheep can survive the winter safely. Anna has just recovered from a serious illness. Dunju says it is freezing outside and doesn't let her get up. Middle-aged Zaitong is asked to help. Unexpectedly, a yak goes crazy when they are killing sheep. Zaitong has to ride a horse to chase it. She is still young and she is not good at riding. Dunju and Mora have nothing to worry about. But after waiting for 2 hours, Zaitong still doesn't come back. Dunju begins to worry. She can't continue to sort out the beef. She hitches the horse and goes to find Zaitong. The acquaintance who helped them take care of the cattle and sheep runs to them on a horse anxiously. Your Zaitong was taken away by a group of people by the Silver Lake. They said they want Anna to exchange for her with the horse of heaven. In the yurt, Anna knocks over the wooden bowl and the hot buttered tea spills all over the ground. She lifts the felt and her face is as cold as frost. She grabs the horse's reins from Dunju's hand and rides away. It is snowing heavily. The withered grassland is gradually covered by snow. Anna's figure soon disappears. Dunju stomps. Tashi, call someone. Let's go save Zaitong. Every Sunday night, Pa comes out to ask for tickets. A new week is coming. Chapter 335. Under the heavy snow are withered grass stalks. Every time the horse's hooves fall, there is the sound of ice falling into the withered grass. Anna is covered with snow and she can't open her eyes because of the cold wind. She doesn't know how long she has been running. The silver-covered lake finally appears in front of her. Anna jumps off the horse. Her leather boots step on the withered grass and it is quiet in the snow. There is no living creature by the lake. She looks around and finds some wool tracks that are not covered by the wind and rain. They press deep marks on the withered grass. Anna is ready to follow the wheel tracks. A herding horse appears on the grassy slope. It is the horse Zaitong rode when she chased the yak. Anna is overjoyed. She changes to this horse and follows the wheel tracks. An old horse knows the way. She hopes this herding horse can take her to her destination. The wheel tracks are vague all the way. It seems that she was going to the highway. Why does she gradually go to the snowy mountain? Anna is puzzled, but she is not less worried. In such weather, people may freeze to death if they stay outside the tent for a long time. Can Zaitong survive? The wind and snow fall. After she rides the horse, the wheel tracks and the horse's hoof marks are all covered. Dunju is anxious. When enthusiastic herdsmen catch up, they only find the two deepest wool tracks by the Silver Lake. In this weather, only desperate people will run to the snowy mountain. Dunju leads the herdsmen to the highway. Zaitong. Zaitong, the wind and snow block people's sight. Anna is now running completely by her feeling. She hopes that someone can answer her in the white distance, but she is always disappointed. Anna's voice is hoarse. She feels that the melting wind and snow are drilling into her neck. Low temperature can quickly reduce people's physical strength. She doesn't know how long she can hold on. The snowy mountain is in sight. Anna passes through a steep stone valley. She shakes the horse and vaguely hears a high-pitched female voice screaming. She pulls the reins and turns the horse around. She finds an entrance and steps into the gravel valley. Zaitong, is that you? Answer me. In the thick fog rolling in the valley, there comes a sobbing voice with some doubts, Ajia. It is indeed Zaitong's voice. Anna jumps off the horse and carefully gropes over. Ajia, don't come over. Don't come near me. In the thick fog, Zaitong's voice is full of panic. Anna doesn't answer her this time. She looks around vigilantly and takes every step carefully. She is afraid that she will be ambushed by evil people. When she gets close to the thick fog, a black shadow suddenly pounces on her. Anna raises her leg and kicks the shadow. The shadow falls to the ground and whines like an injured animal. Only then does Anna see clearly that it is a wild wolf that she has kicked away. Ajia, there are so many wild wolves here. Zaitong's voice is just 50 meters ahead. Anna frowns. She has seen the current situation clearly. No wonder Zaitong warned her not to come. It's not the work of evil people. It turns out that there are many shadowy black shadows within a radius of hundreds of meters in the thick fog. Their green eyes are looming in the thick fog, are the people who catch Zaitong surrounded by wild wolves. No, they have no grudge against wild wolves. Wolves will not provoke such enemies. Someone has a grudge against wolves. Anna remembers that in July this year, she trapped White Cloud by the Silver Lake and seriously injured 2 wild wolves. Damn it! Why do these vengeful grassland wolves choose this time to take revenge? Zaitong is in a wolf's den. She has to save her. Anna swings the whip in her hand. The wild wolves make way for her. These grassland wolves are cruel and cunning. At this time, they make way for Anna just to surround her. Even if Anna knows the result, she has to take the initiative to walk into the encirclement. After walking for another 30 meters, Anna finally sees those people who covet White Cloud. These people drive an ordinary Jeep and a Hummer. At this moment, the 2 cars form a triangle to guard against the wolves. Several men in Tibetan robes hold shotguns in their hands, trying to intimidate the wolves. Anna stops and her eyes are almost filled with anger. These scumbags. In such a dangerous situation, they actually let Zaitong stand on the hood of a car. These men with shotguns still know to hide in the car window with the barrel exposed. However, They let the 12-year-old Zaitong stand on the hood. Fresh meat like the little girl makes the wolves restless. Many pairs of green eyes are staring at Zaitong, who is shivering. Scumbags, these scumbags. Anna is furious, but she feels like crying. Before she comes, how long has Zaitong been intimidated like this? What else have they done to her? Anna, your name is Anna, isn't it? A man's voice comes from the car. He hides his head but shows his tail. She can only tell that he is not young. Anna sneers, I'm the person you are looking for. Let her go. The man laughs, let her go. Let her feed the wolves. Anna, give me the horse, and I will let her go. After 2 months of investigation, the white horse turns out to be the legendary horse of heaven on the grassland. It has already exceeded the value of a racing horse. There is desire in the voice of the gold-toothed man. He is not going to let go of the horse of heaven. Of course, he also wants the little beauty in front of him. It is said that this wild horse of heaven can only have one master in its life. In this case, it will be a good story in the circle if he takes this wild little beauty back to the mainland. Anna frowns, now if I give you the horse, can you escape from here? With the power of Hummer, they should have a chance to break through the siege of the wolves. But what about herself and Zaitong? Unless White Cloud is here, she can take Zaitong to break through the siege with its speed. Anna secretly makes a plan in her heart. She can't give White Cloud to them. Not to mention whether she is willing to give it to them or not. If she gives it to them, she and Zaitong will definitely be buried in the stomach of the wolves. There is no possibility of survival. White Cloud, can you notice that I am coming to Snow Mountain? The man doesn't answer Anna. He just signals his men to shoot into the sky. The gunshot makes the wild wolves involuntarily take 2 steps back and expand the encirclement. The man smiles proudly, I'm not running away. I'm walking out of here calmly. Little beauty, if you give in, I can take you out with me. Hee hee. The bad intention in his voice is so wretched that Anna almost vomits. She calms down and hides the disgust in her voice. What about my little sister? The man in the car laughs a few times. We are a family. A family. Isn't your little sister mine? Of course, I will go out with her. Anna doesn't get angry but laughs. Her slightly heroic temperament suddenly changes. Her looming face in the thick fog is full of charm. She can hear the sound of someone gasping in the car. If she were her former self, what would she do to such blasphemy? Surrounded by wolves, Anna suddenly has a splitting headache. She can't remember her former self. She can't solve the crisis in front of her. There is a continuous sound in the air. Anna rolls on the ground reflexively. 2 needle-like things are nailed to the ground. The man in the car is a little surprised. It seems that he doesn't expect that she can escape. These people don't intend to negotiate with her, do they? They actually try to knock her out with anesthetic needles. Anna rolls on the ground and narrowly avoids the sneak attack of 2 shameless wild wolves. She has already touched the 2 anesthetic needles in her hand. Giving him a taste of his own medicine, she returned the 2 tranquilizer needles to the other party. Puff, something is deflated. The man looks down and finds that the front tires of the 2 cars are deflated like a punctured ball. Anna uses 2 anesthetic needles to poke a small hole in the front tires of the 2 cars. Now they can't close the car door and leave at any time. Anna feels at ease. No matter how angry the man is, she just hides her figure in the thick fog and is ready to rescue Zaitong. Push her down. Push this damn girl down to feed the wolves. The man in the car is very cruel. Anna is approaching the Hummer little by little under the cover of the thick fog. However, the man wants to kill Anna first. The cause of all this is just because of White Cloud? Is human life really more cheap than dogs? For White Cloud, these people can even kill Zaitong. Anna can't bear it anymore. When a man with a shotgun drives Zaitong off the hood, she jumps out and catches the little girl firmly. Zayitong originally thought that she must be bitten to death by wolves. After rolling on the ground, she finds that it is Anner who is holding her. The little girl hides in her arms and cries. Anner's back feels like being stung by ants. She groans and feels that Zayitong in front of her has become a double shadow. She still can't escape the anesthetic needles. She barely kneels on the ground and holds Zayitong. She whispers in her ear, "Run, run out of the valley. Ask White Cloud to take you away, take Nana and Dunju away from the grassland. Promise Ajia." Zayitong's eyes turn red. "Ajia, let's run together and then take White Cloud to another place, okay?" Anner covers her mouth and lowers her voice, "You run first. Ajia has a horse. She will catch up with you later, okay?" Zayitong shakes her head desperately. She is just naive but not stupid. It is obvious that Anner can't leave with her. Zayitong. Anner suddenly screams, "You have to bring people to save me." Zayitong wipes the tears in her eyes with her rough hands and finally says yes. Anner laughs. She bites the tip of her tongue hard in exchange for a moment of sobriety. Zayitong is pushed out by her. Several wild wolves attack but they are temporarily stopped by Anner's desperate fight. She hears Zayitong's footsteps getting farther and farther. She runs to the mouth of the valley. Anner covers her arm and laughs. Blood spreads from her fingers. The wild wolf that just scratched her has a piece of hair missing on its neck and a thick scar. It was stabbed by her on the edge of the Silver Lake. It turns out that it is still alive. Was he really here to seek revenge? It's great. It's better to kill these villains together. Snow Mountain is holy and can't be tarnished by these bastards. She feels pain in her left arm again. It turns out that the people in the car see that she is still alive after 2 needles, so they give her another one. Anner's consciousness finally becomes blurred. She vaguely hears that they ask someone to guard the car and send someone down to change the tire. Are they going to run away? I don't want to. I don't want to. The blood from Anner's wound stains the snow where she fell. She slowly closes her eyes and a sharp cry of pain suddenly comes from the mouth of the valley. Chapter 336. Is it raining? Feeling her eyelids are wet, Anner tries to open her eyes. It's dark in the valley. White Cloud sees her wake up and licks her cheek affectionately. White Cloud, why are you here? Anner's eyes fall on White Cloud's neck. There are a few deep teeth marks and White Cloud's beautiful fur is almost torn off. Anner suddenly remembers that she should be in the valley now. She turns over and sits up. The wound on her right hand is torn again. White Cloud is so anxious that it can't help licking her right arm with its tongue. The fragrance of herbs permeates the air. This loyal horse not only gets hurt for her but also goes to find herbs to stop bleeding. Anner's eyes turn red, not only for White Cloud but also for the blood on the ground. The thick fog disperses. 2 badly broken cars and several cold corpses are on the ground. A herdsman stares at the sky with his eyes wide open and his face distorted. There is a hole in his abdomen and his internal organs are all over the ground. Anner holds back the feeling of vomiting and stumbles to the entrance of the valley. Zayitong, Zayitong, I heard her scream before she fainted. Nothing must happen to her. Please. White Cloud follows her step by step. The wound on Anner's right arm is dripping blood. She doesn't walk for a few steps before she finds the shepherd she rode has fallen to the ground. Its intestines are also broken. Around it, there were hundreds of wild horses standing in the valley. She immediately understood why the people in the 2 carriages had died, and only she was still alive. It's White Cloud. White Cloud comes with the wild horses at the critical moment and disperses the wolves. Anner sees the fate of the shepherd and her legs are weak. The entrance of the valley is right in front of her, but she doesn't dare to go forward. She is afraid that what is waiting for her at the entrance of the valley is Zayitong's dead body. Timidity entangles Anner like water grass. White Cloud lowers its head and rubs its master who is surrounded by sadness. Anner blinks her eyes and forcibly blinks back her tears. She stands up straight and walks to the entrance of the valley. The wild horses make way for her. There is a pool of blood in the snow which is so eye-catching. Anner's feet are stiff but she stubbornly moves there step by step. A broken arm is half hidden in the snow alone. Anner's tears finally burst out. Zeitong, Zeitong. Kuma, my Kuma. Anner's eyes are blurred by tears. She has long wanted to call her Kuma, which corresponds to Agia. It means younger sister. Her younger sister, Zeitong, was only 12 years old. She wanted to go to school and often practiced Chinese characters on the ground. She often threw a wreath in the air to express her joy. Now, her arm, the arm with the red coral bracelet, was in the snow. Extreme pain overlaps in her heart. A ray of light penetrates Anner's body and she can't help but raise her head and cry in pain. Ah, who was she? She had no sister, only a brother. No, she had a good sister. Chaotic information flashes in her mind. One moment, she sees Zeitong's smiling face with blushing cheeks. The next moment, she sees a blurry teenager with a gentle and shy temperament who calls her sister. Which one is real life? Anner. No, my name is not Anner. Her whole body is pulled into the air by an invisible force. The wall of restraint in her mind is broken. She feels like there are 10,000 ants trying to climb out, which makes her head itchy and painful. Two kinds of lives alternate. Her body floating in the air unconsciously curls up like a shrimp because of uneasiness. A voice asks her, "What do you want to do most? What do you want most?" At this moment, she wants to avenge Zeitong most. The voice says again, "Then remember who you are and find your real self." Does the real self have the ability to avenge her? She asks the inexplicable voice. She is also asking herself. She has a long dream. After coming out of the Jokhang temple, because of a bowl of butter tea, she realizes that what she lacks is ordinary perception. She has been living without spells, wakan, magic weapon, and space for too long. She can no longer experience the emotions of ordinary people. Fire Phoenix said that if she wants to experience ordinary again and bear essence, she must seal all the abilities and memories of her whole body. Then she can enjoy ordinary life as a blank piece of paper. The beautiful woman nods and says yes. How can she live on the grassland where danger lurks? Fire Phoenix laughs and says, "I have picked a good place for you." It is indeed a good place. It is the sacred Silver Lake district of the Naku grassland. Herdsmen will not be presumptuous here. You can sleep at ease. It is not without danger. Her abilities and memories are sealed. Then she meets a fish monster jumping out of the Silver Lake. She is so embarrassed that she faints by the lake because of serious injuries. When she wakes up again, she really forgets who she is. A kind herdsman save her and take her back to the Mongolian yurt. They give her a nice Tibetan name, Anner. Anner, come here. I will teach you how to milk cows. Anner, you know so much, Anner, my name is Zeitong. My mother said it means olive. What about Anner? Anner, it means pomegranate. Nana also said you look like pomegranate. You are so beautiful. The little girl chirps happily like a bird on the grassland. She teaches herself how to milk cows, make butter, and learn to ride. The two are like sisters. They herd together and learn to sing pastoral songs together. Anner is the most beautiful pomegranate flower on the grassland, the little girl says this more than once. The little girl, her name is Zeitong. Her name is Lin Luoran. The figure in the air opens her eyes. Her beautiful eyes are shining like the purest amber in the world. In her eyes, there is no longer helplessness. A trace of pain is well hidden. Instead, there is more determination. She is no longer the ordinary Anner. She is the shining Lin Luoran. The last bit of mist in the valley disperses. The wild horses look at the woman floating in the air with doubts in their eyes. The breath she emits is even more powerful than that of the extremely fierce alpha wolf. Lin Luoran finally finds herself. Fire Phoenix's lazy voice rings, "Congratulations on your success. The opportunity to bear essence is right in front of you. But I guess you want to save the herdsman girl first." Lin Luoran is stunned. She is not dead. Not dead. Zaitong, who calls her Ajia, is not dead. Lin Luoran suddenly realizes and says angrily, "Even if I lose my memory and can't use my ability, you can save her." "Why did you watch her lose her arm?" Fire Phoenix is speechless. After a while, it gnashes its teeth. "Without her arm, I am afraid you will be Anner for the rest of your life. This method is too aggressive. I can see that you enjoy the life of a herdsman on the grassland. Are you willing to herd horses for the rest of your life?" Lin Luoran murmurs, "But I don't need to lose her arm to wake me up." Fire Phoenix snorts and cuts off the connection with her. Lin Luoran knows that she is a little greedy. It is she who wants to make up for the lack of state of mind in the shortest time and bear essence smoothly so that she can go to Penglai to find a way to rebuild the Taoist root for her mother. However, this method of sealing memory and ability is extremely dangerous. It is cast by Fire Phoenix and the spell has been made. Even if Fire Phoenix breaks its promise and wants to help her recover her memory, it will violate the oath of the law and she will suffer from the backfire of the spell. However, Lin Luoran feels inexplicably sad to use Zaitong's arm to help her find herself in the amnesia. She gently falls to the ground. White Cloud is confused. It doesn't recognize its master who has changed a lot. She takes a circulation bolus in her palm and melts it. Her palm touches White Cloud's neck. The wound stops bleeding. Within 2 days, White Cloud will be completely healed. It lowers its head and licks her palm. It wants to smear the remaining medicine on her injured right arm. Lin Luoran hugs its neck. One person and one horse have a tacit understanding again. She and Anner are originally the same person. The difference is that Lin Luoran has the ability that Anner doesn't have. She circles a pile of sand and stones and buries Zaitong's broken arm and the horse she rides. Lin Luoran goes to the crime scene again. Different from the panic just now, Lin Luoran is calm and self-controlled. She has excellent eyesight. Not only did she glance over the blood-stained scene, but there were also human corpses and no wolf corpses. She also discovered that the broken windshield and the dented hood were all caused by a powerful blow from some kind of creature. Is it the animal that hurt White Cloud? Lin Luoran suspects that it might be the alpha wolf of the grassland wolf pack. Even White Cloud can be hurt by it. It must be something. Thinking that it might be this thing that hurt Zaitong's broken arm and took her away, Lin Luoran's eyes are covered with a layer of frost that is even colder than ice. She has very good hearing. Wakan returns to her body and everything is under control. It is a subtle feeling. There is a faint breathing sound in the broken Hummer. Gold Wakan gathers at her fingertips. The door is completely cut off where she touches it. A middle-aged man is struggling on the leather seat. Seeing Lin Luoran standing in front of him with a cold face, he coughs violently. You are not dead. A golden tooth is stained with blood. The smell of money can't be washed away in this snow mountain. Lin Luoran suddenly smiles. I'm not dead, so you have to die. The man's eyes widen. The wound left by the wolf on his chest is bleeding. You can't kill me. I have a lot of money. I'll give you money. Save me. Lin Luoran's palm is already on fire. Hearing his words, she is stunned. Yes, if I kill you, I will be no different from you. The middle-aged man sees the flame that appears and disappears on Lin Luoran's fingertips like magic. His eyes are even brighter. Cultivator, you are actually a cultivator. Lin Luoran no longer looks at him and leaves without hesitation. The middle-aged man yelled enthusiastically, Fairy, 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 please accept me. I can give you all my wealth and I can find you the most precious treasure in the world. What do you like? An eagle or a horse race? Fairy. Lin Luoran is already riding on White Cloud's back. Let's go and save Zeitong. White Cloud's tail swings a beautiful arc in the air. This is the last light in the middle-aged man's pupils. Chapter 337. Lin Luoran's clothes are stained with blood. She takes out the Rui dress from the space and puts it on. Because she has to ride a horse, the Rui dress turns into a British knight's dress. When Wakan returns to the body, the cell metabolism is fast. The wound on the right arm has healed. Only the pink new skin shows that it was severely scratched by the grassland wolf half a day ago. Even an old horse knows the way, let alone a mutant like White Cloud. After Lin Luoran recovers, she can feel the faint reiki in White Cloud. It is called the Horse of Heaven. It is not just a rumor. It seems that its bloodline is indeed extraordinary. Reiki in the world is thin now. Although White Cloud has no consciousness to actively cultivate in the snow mountain, it has passively absorbed a lot of water reiki. Where is the wolf? Lin Luoran is very curious about what it is. It also knows how to catch Zeitong and lure her there. This grassland wolf must not be an ordinary character. White Cloud walks vigorously between the mountain streams. When it carries Lin Luoran across the valley, it flies 7 or 8 meters in the air. It really lives up to its name of Horse of Heaven. A person and a horse come to the top of the snow mountain in less than half an hour. White Cloud pulls Lin Luoran's sleeves and looks down. The west peak of this snow-covered holy mountain is straight down and the drop is no less than a kilometer. Through the clouds and mist at the bottom of the valley, Lin Luoran sees a hidden paradise in the snow mountain. In this winter, it is still full of birds, flowers and lush grass. Is this the place where the wolf tribe lives? White Cloud nods its head slightly, indicating that what Lin Luoran sees is not an illusion. This is interesting. The snow mountain cliff is so slippery that the grassland wolf certainly can't get in and out from the cliff. There must be another hidden exit at the foot of the mountain. White Cloud can't find it, but it still brings her to the top of the mountain. If it were other people, they would really have no way to deal with the situation in front of them. Lin Luoran just touches White Cloud to calm it down. Wait for me at the foot of the mountain. White Cloud is reluctant to leave, but Lin Luoran has already jumped off the cliff. White Cloud is so scared that it takes 2 steps forward and steps on the ice on the edge of the cliff. Of course, Lin Luoran is not committing suicide. As soon as she jumps down, she casts the wind-riding spell. The wind surrounds her from all directions, mixed with snowflakes, completely covering her figure. Staying in the air, Lin Luoran doesn't rush to land. Looking down from here, one's line of sight was even clearer. The entire valley was filled with hot air, and it was this alternating hot and cold air that caused the valley to be covered in thick fog. Even if an ordinary person were to look down from the top of the mountain, they would never discover that there was a paradise-like world hidden under the thick fog. Sporadic wild wolves were rolling on the grass. It was unknown if they were full and were digesting their food. If it weren't for Zeitong's broken arm, Lin Luoran would even think these rolling wolves are cute. But now, she carefully searches every corner of the valley and makes sure that Zeitong is not among them. These grassland wolves have sharp claws and fangs. To ordinary people, they are extremely fierce. However, to Lin Luoran, who is in the late period of laying foundation and on the verge of bearing essence, they are just some grumpy cats. Lin Luoran really doesn't take them seriously. However, none of them could hurt White Cloud, so the alpha wolf was not here. Lin Luoran is still confused. Suddenly, a big wolf with blue fur and blue eyes comes out from the root of a big tree in the valley. It is a tree hole. It turns out that it is hiding in the hole. Lin Luoran sneers. It is really interesting. This is not only an alpha wolf with light reiki in its body, but it is also of the wood. The wood is responsible for life while the wolf is responsible for killing. Lin Luoran doesn't know how it reconciles the two. After finding the alpha wolf, Lin Luoran shows up and lands there. The alpha wolf looks at this side vigilantly. Lin Luoran doesn't hide her momentum at all. Those fierce grassland wolves are so suppressed that they dare not come forward. The grassland wolf that has a grudge against Lin Luoran arches its body and makes an attacking posture. However, it doesn't dare to rush forward rashly. It can only suppress the light of hatred in its eyes. Lin Luoran lowers her eyes. I gave you a knife, and you gave me a claw. If you continue to pester me, don't blame me for being cruel. After saying that, Lin Luoran goes straight to the wolf, regardless of whether the grassland wolf understands her or not. The green wolf of the wood has its hair standing on end. It has already felt Lin Luoran's power. Every time Lin Luoran takes a step forward, it retreats a little bit. When Lin Luoran is still 10 feet away from it, it suddenly turns its head and gets into the tree hole. Lin Luoran's spiritual mind locks it tightly. She is not afraid that it will escape. However, she is somewhat surprised that there is a different world under the tree hole. Of course, she will not imitate the alpha wolf to get into the hole. Lin Luoran raises her hand and summons the bright sword. With only one sword, she cuts down the big tree, revealing the root of the tree. Winding down, there is a hole that can accommodate one person. The movement of the big tree falling to the ground makes those grassland wolves stunned. Their alpha wolf is not there, so they lose their restraint. They find a hole covered by vines and rush out of the valley. This time, Lin Luoran is more satisfied. It turns out that the exit of the valley is in such a place. A small fireball floats on her fingertips. She stands at the hole and looks down. It is a slope, not vertical. Lin Luoran is bold because of her skill. She simply jumps down. At the beginning of the long tunnel, moss stains her clothes. As she goes downhill, the road becomes wider. When a fork appears in front of her, Lin Luoran laughs. The footprints on the ground show that the alpha is going to the right. However, Lin Luoran's spiritual mind locates that the alpha wolf is hiding at the entrance of the fork on the left. Does it want to show her the wrong way? Or does it want to attack her from behind? Lin Luoran decides to make both of its plans fail. She suddenly rushes to the place where the alpha wolf is hiding. She weaves a big net made of wachan and covers the back of the rock. The alpha wolf is caught by her in a daze. There is no expression in its eyes. Lin Luoran does not feel the joy of victory. Looking at the alpha wolf, which is not struggling at all, she suddenly has an inexplicable sense of crisis. Lin Luoran always trusts her intuition, so she leans to the right. A green light flashes 2 inches away from her neck and hits the rock in the tunnel. Stone chips are splashed and the bottom cannot be seen. Lin Luoran's neck is cold. She has no time to chase the flashing green shadow. This attack was originally aimed at her neck in an attempt to kill her in one strike. If she hadn't been vigilant, perhaps her head would have been separated from her body by now. She was just a small cultivator in the late stage of the Foundation establishment realm. This kind of injury was something that no one would have the power to reverse. The alpha wolf she catches turns into a piece of rotten wood with a flash of green light in the big net of wachan. Substitution. Fire Phoenix screams sharply in the space. Lin Luoran is stunned. What is this? Fire Phoenix is furious. This is a small art of nature. We were all fooled by the wolf. It is a monster cultivator. This is not the point. The point is that this is a monster cultivator who has mastered the art of nature. It is not an ordinary monster. Let's retreat first. Art of nature. Lin Luoran thinks of the soldiers made of beans, of the ancestor of the monsters of wood. This kind of camouflage, substitution, can only fool her, whose personal ability is not high. The ancestor of the monsters of wood's soybeans turned into golden-armored soldiers, which have real combat power. This rotten wood with no spirit is far from being comparable to it. The question is, why is the monster wolf so sneaky when it can use the art of nature? There is only one possibility. If they fight face to face, it is not confident that it can defeat her. Xiao Feng, I'm guessing that the wolf demon has been seriously injured. Fire Phoenix yells. It is not called Phoenix. Lin Luoran ignores it and summons Xiao Jian. It flies around her as a guard. Lin Luoran purses her lips. Zeitong is still in the hands of the monster wolf of wood. Even if there is danger ahead, she has to fight it. Chapter 338. Lin Luoran has a wider field of vision. The flame is dancing on her fingertips, not for illumination, but because wood is afraid of fire. At the end of the tunnel, there is a faint cyan light. It seems that she is not going the wrong way. Because the monster wolf can cast spells, Lin Luoran can't take it lightly. She is very careful in every step. It turned out that this place was an underground karst cave. The distant top was connected to the snowy mountain. The snow water that seeped out from the mountain was dripping into a stone trough. A snow lotus-like thing was growing in this pool of milky white translucent mucus. The milky white translucent liquid kept bubbling, and the green light was coming from it. Lin Luoran doesn't know this thing, but she is surprised by the mellow wood reiki of this green light snow lotus. It is connected to the snow mountain above and the earth vein below. Lin Luoran is not surprised that spirit grass can grow in such an environment. What is strange is the spirit grass of the wood. Come to think of it, the monster wolf is also a spirit grass of the wood. Why does it lead her here? If she is injured and happens to get a spirit grass of the wood, she will cherish it like a treasure. Why does it lead the enemy here? Unless, as soon as Lin Luoran moves, the green light snow lotus suddenly turns into a giant wolf with green fur and rushes to her. Lin Luoran summons the bright sword to block it. The sword collides with the claws of the giant wolf. The sound of metal and sparks fly everywhere. The bright sword is a grade 5 magic weapon. Lin Luoran thinks that the monster wolf can cast spells, so it must be more than this. Unexpectedly, the giant wolf screams in pain and turns around to hide in the stone wall. It seems that it is seriously injured. This time, the monster wolf is not using substitution, but transformation spell. Fire Phoenix explains to her, but Lin Luoran is still confused about the difference between the two. The silver fish says softly, Sun Wukong, the Monkey King in Journey to the West, knows the 72 transformations. This wolf demon is using this kind of magic. Unfortunately, I don't know if it's because it's too heavily injured or not skilled enough, but even you can detect it. It's no different from an illusion. Well, the little silver fish is so knowledgeable that it has even read the Journey to the West. Transformation. Does the wolf want to trap her here? The path of retreat had disappeared, leaving only a stone wall. Lin Luoran puts her hand on the stone wall. The stone wall feels the earth wacken in her body being assimilated bit by bit. Then she walks through the stone wall. Once again, he returned to the fork in the road where he came from. Taking a big detour, it turned out that taking the left fork was the correct choice. Lin doesn't know where the monster wolf is hiding. She doesn't encounter any sneak attacks along the way. What surprised her was that at the end of the tunnel, there was another scene. There was a milky white, translucent liquid, snow water seeping out of the cracks of the snowy mountain, and a snow lotus swaying with green light. Could it be that the demonic wolf thought she would be fooled a second time? When she is about to react, she sees some hay behind the stone trough. Zeitong, who has lost an arm and is covered with wounds, has fainted there. Zeitong, Zeitong. Lin Luoran feels Zeitong's breath with her hand. Though it is weak, she is still alive. Lin Luoran transmits some would wacken into Zeitong's body, but her pale little face is still bloodless. Lin Luoran is very anxious. She feeds her a circulation bolus, but Zaitong still has no sign of waking up. Lin Luoran is very anxious. What should I do? I didn't bring the healing spirit herb with me. Maybe this green light snow lotus can save you. Lin Luoran puts Zaitong on the hay pile and gets up to pick up the green light snow lotus. Before her fingertips touch the stem of the lotus, Zaitong in a coma has already murmured, Ajia. Ajia, Zaitong hurts so much. It hurts so much. Lin Luoran throws away the snow lotus and turns to hug the little girl. It doesn't hurt, it doesn't hurt. Ajia is here. She transmits wood wacken to Zaitong's broken arm. Wood is the main element of vitality. Zaitong's frowning eyebrows are stretched again. The little girl finally shows a tranquil smile in her sleep. Lin Luoran is also smiling. The wacken she transmits from her palm suddenly flashes red. An extremely overbearing fire wacken goes into Zaitong's body. Ajia, Ajia, it hurts. Zaitong closes her eyes tightly and the pain is unbearable. Lin Luoran suddenly leaves her. Stop pretending. If you pretend again, I will make you more painful. Zaitong cries and opens her eyes. Ajia, Ajia, don't you want me anymore? It hurts so much. Zaitong's misty eyes are full of water vapor. She looks pitiful, especially when Zaitong suffers from the pain of losing her arm. Lin Luoran not only doesn't pity her but also hurts her body with fire wacken. Lin Luoran coldly sees Zaitong's acting. She points at the green light snow lotus with her sword. Monster, if you keep pretending, I will be a good person and pick this snow lotus to cure your injury. The mist in Zaitong's eyes stagnate. The seriously injured little girl actually stands up from the hay pile. How can you see through my transformation twice? Who the hell are you? Zaitong, or it should be said that the monster wolf with the same appearance as Zaitong, says coldly. Lin Luoran smiles. It's not that you have become bad. It's that you think everyone else is as greedy as you. It thinks that everyone else is as greedy as it and will covet the green light snow lotus at the intersection of hot lava and snow water. Therefore, it turns into a green light snow lotus for the first time to lure Lin Luoran to pick it. Unexpectedly, Lin Luoran has space. She is not as greedy as ordinary cultivators for spirit herbs, so she doesn't fall for it. It escapes into the left fork again. This time, it doesn't use the same trick to turn into a green light snow lotus. Instead, it turns into Zaitong. Although it is the pain of losing an arm, the pure wood reiki is so precious for a mortal girl. This monster wolf is so greedy that it infuses a lot of wood wacken into it and still doesn't want to wake up. Since it won't turn into a green light snow lotus again, this snow lotus is real. There is nothing in the stone cave. It only makes sense that Zaitong is fake. This monster wolf is simply trying to trick her into constantly infusing wood wacken to cure its injury. Unfortunately, Lin Luoran takes the opportunity to infuse a domineering fire wacken into it and disturbs its internal breath. Tell me, what do you want to do by leading me here? Give me the real girl, and I can let you die in one piece. With a flash of green light, the big green wolf appears beside the stone trough. You are just a little cultivator in the late laying foundation period. How dare you be so arrogant? Lin Luoran glances at it coldly. She doesn't talk nonsense and rewards it with a sharp sword move. The blue light of the bright sword surges. Wherever the sword light goes, many mountains are cut down. The monster wolf screams and flies to protect the green light snow lotus. Lin Luoran slashes the green light snow lotus with her sword. The monster wolf withstands it with its personal ability and spits a mouthful of blood on the green light snow lotus. Lin Luoran stands with her sword. I ask you again, where is the mortal girl? The monster wolf smiles viciously. Kill me. Anyway, someone you care about will die with me. Ha ha ha. Lin Luoran frowns. She is not afraid of powerful people, but she is afraid of people like Xian Yuanping, who obviously harms others without benefiting themselves. Such people are annoying, whether they are monsters or humans. Xin Yuanping is an example. If it wants to die, Lin Luoran won't be polite to it. She slashes down with her sword. This time, the monster wolf screams. Lin Luoran takes a closer look and finds that it is another piece of rotten wood, which is cut in half by her. Substitution, substitution, substitution again. Was the gap between magic arts and magic arts really so insurmountable? The way Lin Luoran came from turns into a stone wall again. The demonic wolf's rampant laughter resounded outside the wall. This time, you can't escape by simply using the earth escape technique. Little female cultivator of the human clan, stay inside. Don't worry, you will soon fuse with my spirit grass. After eating it, I can restore my cultivation. In the end, in this vast world, where can I go? The mountain becomes as hard as pig iron. Earthwacken can't melt it. Even the bright sword can only leave a shallow white mark on it. Lin Luoran smiles bitterly. It turns out that the monster wolf is here to make her a medicine fertilizer. The auspicious halo above her head is so big that it can always attract these strange people. For example, Xin Yuanping, the monster Vine Yang Lisha, and the monster wolf that shouldn't exist. Did you kill the little girl? The monster wolf is stunned. It doesn't expect that Lin Luoran still has time to ask this question at this time. It changes its mind and says, if you are willing to be a fertilizer, I can let the little girl go. Lin Luoran ignores it and turns into the space. Which one of you knows the wolf demon who's swaggering around outside? The fire phoenix says with a sullen face, such a lowly monster doesn't even deserve to carry my shoes. Lin Luoran ignores it and looks at the little silver fish. The silver fish lowers its head and thinks for a while. It says timidly, did it step on 7 tufts of white hair on its left paw? Lin Luoran recalls. Its whole body is green. When it waved its left paw, there was indeed white light. Who could count how many tufts of white hair there were? However, the little silver fish never speaks carelessly. Since it says so, there must be a deeper meaning. If there is, do you know it? The little silver fish nods. The young chieftain of the monster wolf race has 7 tufts of white hair on his left paw. Back then, the chieftain of the monster wolf race went around saying that his son was born by stepping on 7 stars and was the monster of destiny. But it should have left the earth. It's so strange. Of course it's strange. These damn, second generations of officials don't enjoy their blessings. They just like to make people suffer. The little silver fish has a good memory today. Seeing that Lin Luoran is going out, it pulls her sleeve. If you are the young chieftain of the monster wolf race, you'd better not go out. The Reiki circle outside will probably turn you into Reiki to water the flowers. The fire phoenix snorts. In that case, why don't you turn it first? Chapter 339. Although the proud fire phoenix is often unreliable, it is an old monster and its methods are very reliable. Whether it helps her escape from danger many times or occasionally gives her advice. Therefore, this time, Lin Luoran doesn't doubt what it says. She is just a little confused. What kind of drastic measures are these? The monster wolf looks inside from the outside of the mountain. The mountain wall turns out to be one-way transparent. It finds that Lin Luoran is gone first. There is only a floating bead in the secret room, emitting misty white light and shining with the green light snow lotus. The monster wolf can't help but feel nervous. It was quite knowledgeable. A bead that could allow a living person to hide in must have an extraordinary origin. It made up its mind, so it stopped watching and started the tactical array. Rays of light begin to flow in the secret chamber, intertwining. This kind of light will restore objects to the origin of Reiki of the 5 elements. It is called Reiki Transforming Circle. The monster wolf has transformed a lot of things over the years, including living things and dead things. Otherwise, this green light snow lotus will not be so colorful and overflowing with wood Reiki. only the green light lotus can save it. The monster wolf's eyes are shining with inexplicable light. It has to survive so that it can use the transmission circle again to take revenge. Thinking of the human female cultivator who is about to reach the level of bearing essence, the monster wolf feels lucky from the bottom of its heart. Nowadays, cultivators are very rare. Ordinary inanimate objects can't compare to cultivators, let alone a female cultivator who's about to form her gold core. The rich wood attributes spiritual energy on her body can make people drunk just by breathing it. Unfortunately, it's not a pure wood attribute, so a lot of it will be wasted. Greed blinds its mind. The monster wolf knows that cultivators are scarce and it can see that Lin Luoran does not have a single Taoist root. However, it is because of this that this female cultivator can cultivate to the level of bearing essence even though the Taoist root is not advantageous when the earth is thin and restless. It is not easy to mess with her now. In the moving light, the monster wolf finds that the figure of the female cultivator suddenly appears in the secret chamber again. Even though there was a protective barrier in front of him, as well as a set of treasured clothes that weren't all that outstanding for double protection, the wolf fiend still revealed a smile. The Reiki transforming circle is invincible. Even if it is a simple version, this female cultivator who has not yet reached the level of bearing essence cannot resist it. The combination of the protective barrier and treasured clothing could only allow her to live for a short while. Even if she hid in the bead with some history, the bead would be melted in the end. What a pity for this bead. The wolf monster sighed again. It became a little sentimental today. Soon, the monster wolf found that there was a scene that seemed to be an illusion in front of its eyes. That female cultivator actually stretched out her hand to pluck the green light snow lotus. It was really too ridiculous. Did she think that it wouldn't protect such an important thing? It was unknown where the wolf demon came from, but it quietly watched the joke on this side of the stone wall. And, it must be because in this snowy mountain, other than eating and sleeping, there was no female wolf demon who could understand, so its life was too boring. The demonic wolf quickly convinced itself, and then it saw that the female cultivator was sent flying by the light shield of the cyan light snow lotus and slammed into the mountain wall. The wolf demon laughed unkindly. The female cultivator climbed to her feet, her face covered in dirt. The demonic wolf's cheerful laughter spread out from the cave and echoed throughout the entire valley. Seeing that she changed the water spell to deal with the protection of the cyan light snow lotus, the monster wolf almost couldn't help laughing again. Therefore, the human race is obviously the stupidest race. Using the water spell to deal with the wood spell will only accelerate the vitality of the wood spell. Because Lin Luoran was so stupid, the monster wolf finally couldn't stand it anymore. It laughed and ran out of the cave. Lin Luoran wipes the non-existent sweat and goes back to the space. Has it gone far? The fire phoenix nodded. Lin Luoran stared at the flashing flames of the small volcano with fanatical color in her eyes. In fact, she was also a fanatical gambler in her bones. She was used to fighting against nature, against others, and with her life in times of crisis. The Reiki transforming circle is slowly turning. Lin Luoran had experienced how strong the power of the circle was. There was not much time left for her. As expected, if the protection of the cyan light snow lotus was destroyed as planned, the monster wolf would come to take her in an instant. There was only one chance, so she had to protect it well. Lin Luoran flashed out of the space. Although there was no sunlight here, there was no shortage of fire Reiki in the place where the earth and fire met. She closed her eyes and meditated. Finally, she decided to hit the arrow of light. It should be right to use fire to fight against wood. Lin Luoran's right hand moves quickly. She makes some complicated and fancy gestures quickly and accurately. To be honest, except for the time when she first practiced the spells of the 5 elements, the higher her personal ability was, the more skillful she became in casting spells. She rarely paid so much attention to the steps of each gesture. Because, this moment, was too important, the monster wolf jumped out of the cave. Looking at the empty valley, it was not angry at all. Although those grassland wolves were of the same race, compared to the high and mighty demon clan, these fools who had not developed spiritual intelligence did not have much in common with Lord Wolf Demon. It didn't even care whether they could survive if they went out of the valley on a snowy day. Before meeting Lord Wolf Demon Lord, didn't these wolves live like this? In winter, they curled up in the cave to avoid the wind and snow. When they were really hungry, they went out to find food in the wind and snow. Occasionally, they met other animals who also came out to find food, so they could have a full meal. The monster wolf was angry that after so many years of control, these grassland wolves still acted according to their instincts and didn't listen to commands at all. It scratched a vine on the mountain wall with its claws, and a cave was exposed. Although there were snow-capped mountains above their heads, it was as warm as spring here because of the geothermal heat. There was even an oil lamp made of animal fat burning inside. There was a 2-meter-wide pool in the cave, steaming. This was a natural hot spring with a temperature of about 40 degrees Celsius. It was extremely comfortable. The cave was covered with soft hay, clean and bright. Usually, only the monster wolf could enjoy the hot spring. However, at this time, a little human girl of 12 or 13 years old was soaked in the pool. The monster wolf scratched her head with its claws, and the little girl woke up. Seeing the enlarged face of the wolf in front of her, Zaitong cried, "It's you again, monster. Give me back my hand." The monster wolf bared its teeth. "As I said, your hand was not bitten by me. If you cry again, I will tear you with my claws." Therefore, it hated these grassland wolves who were so stupid that they didn't understand orders. If they wanted to capture someone, then so be it. It was so much fun to live, but why did they have to bite off someone's arm? Now that this human girl had woken up, she was crying non-stop. It put a lot of herbs in this hot spring, so it should not hurt. Why is she crying? As a monster wolf who had left the secular world for many years, it couldn't understand at all that Zaitong was at the age when she began to love beauty. She was at the age when she would be happy for a new dress and a new hat. How could she bear to lose a hand? Thinking that it would be like this in the future, how could she pull the reins with only one hand? She couldn't ride a horse or help her family work. She would be laughed at when she went to school. All kinds of pressures were put on a little girl. The more Zaitong thought about it, the sadder she became. Therefore, every time the monster wolf woke her up, she would cry. Woo! Because of the threat of the monster wolf, Zaitong's crying was suppressed. This kind of soft sobbing was more touching than crying at the top of her voice. Maybe it was more touching to the wolf. The monster wolf was so annoyed that it said fiercely, "Your sister is coming to find you. I will eat her in a while." Zaitong's nose twitched. "Ajia is coming. Don't eat her. Please, don't eat her. I won't let you give me back my hand." The monster wolf glanced aside. When did it say it would give her back her hand? It didn't have a relic that could regrow a broken arm. However, it intended to divert the attention of this human girl. Why did she cry even more fiercely? The monster wolf was annoyed, but it never thought that no one would use another person's sister's life as a topic to divert attention. It was about to say something when it sensed an abnormal fluctuation in the atom. The monster wolf knocked the crying Zaitong out with its paw again. It quickly went into the mountain and came to the outside of the atom within a breath. Looking through the one-way transparent mountain wall, Lin Luoran pulled the bow with her left hand and put an arrow with her right hand. The fiery red arrow was gorgeous, aiming at the green light snow lotus. Damn it, the wolf demon just so happened to know this technique. It had seen with its own eyes that a small human cultivator in the core formation stage used the same move to kill a monster bull. At that time, it still didn't have the ability to transform. In the eyes of the entire demon wolf clan, it was just a small dot. Arrow of light. It remembered that when its father wolf found it in the grass and checked the dead barbaric bull monster, he said these 3 words. The monster wolf didn't expect that it could see this spell in its lifetime. The barbaric bull monster killed all human cultivators who knew this secret spell for revenge. While it was in a daze, Lin Luoran had shot the arrow in her hand. Blocked by the closed mountain and surrounded by magic circles, Lin Luoran's arrow certainly failed to draw down the power of the sun. However, her arrow drew the strange fire in the space. The monster wolf saw the arrow hit on the protective shield of the green light snow lotus with a sizzling sound. It wanted to tear Lin Luoran apart, but it took time for the magic circle to stop. Besides, how could it know if this was a trick of the human female cultivator? It remembered that these human cultivators were cunning and it had to be prepared. Nothing could happen to the green light snow lotus, and it couldn't let the human female cultivator take over. The monster wolf went into the mountain and appeared in the cave where Zaitong was. It took the little girl in its mouth from the hot spring and came out of the adytum again. There was only a thin layer of the protective shield of the green light snow lotus. The light in the adytum stopped wandering. The Reiki transforming circle had been stopped by the monster wolf. It appeared in the adytum and put Zaitong under its claws. It could kill her at any time. Little cultivator, stop what you are doing, which offends the dignity of the wolf race. Otherwise, I will kill her. Lin Luoran stared at it. She finally confirmed that this monster wolf might have damaged its brain. Otherwise, it wouldn't be so childish. The arrow of light is melting the protective shield of the green light snow lotus little by little. 1 inch, half an inch. The shield has been broken. The monster wolf murmurs. It doesn't slap Zaitong who is under its death claw as it said. Instead, it uses the last spell it knows. The mountain trembled. A giant in stone armor emerged from the ground. It opened its big hands and grabbed Lin Luoran's waist. At the moment when she was lifted off the ground, Lin Luoran had reached out to pull up the green light snow lotus. The monster wolf was furious. Put down my snow lotus. Seeing that Lin Luoran didn't respond, it moved its hands and the giant in stone armor closed its hands. Lin Luoran smiled sarcastically at the monster wolf and disappeared into the bead. The bead was held in the hand of the giant in stone armor. It couldn't be crushed. The monster wolf was so angry that it almost vomited blood and died. Looking at the empty stone trough and the still tumbling translucent mucus, it realized that so many years of hard work had vanished in front of its eyes. At this moment, even if its own father was in front of it, the monster wolf could still make up its mind to tear it apart, let alone a strange human girl like Zai. If you want to blame someone, blame your sister. It's all her, it's all her. Ah, the monster wolf became more abnormal after being stimulated. The giant in stone armor summoned by the spell fell apart because of its unstable spiritual mind. It fell to the ground and became a pile of rotten stones. The monster wolf was about to slap Zaitong to death with its claws. Suddenly, a rope of light jumped out from the bead on the ground and tied the monster wolf up. Before it realized what was going on, it had been pulled into the bead by the rope of light. A shrill scream made White Cloud, who was standing on the top of the snow-capped mountain, shudder. Except for living creatures like Lin Luoran, no one could enter or leave the space. In fact, this was not entirely correct. There was another possibility. Like the monster wolf, its bones and blood were melted by the power of the law of space and its soul and flesh were separated. Hearing the shrill scream, Lin Luoran couldn't help but frown. She grabbed the fire phoenix which was covering its ears and was about to leave. You just said that the monster wolf would die immediately after picking the snow lotus with green light and planting it. You didn't say that it would die like this. The fire phoenix lied to itself. How did I know that it would scream so miserably? It sounded cruel. Both the fire phoenix and the silver fish were put into the bead space after they died and became half soul and half spirit. However, this living monster was put into the bead space. Isn't it too miserable? As long as the green light snow lotus was planted, the monster wolf would die immediately. Lin Luoran looked at the monster wolf in the space, which was screaming and turning from a shadow to a real one. She felt that she had grasped the key point. The fire phoenix was an aborigine and the silver fish came later. How did the silver fish get into the space? Lin Luoran remembered that she first picked the ice grass guarded by the silver fish. Because of her perception of water, she was muddle-headed in the space at that time. When she woke up, the silver fish should be in the space, but she didn't notice it at that time. Was the silver fish also sucked into the space like this? Lin Luoran suddenly felt nauseous. Stripping people's soul and flesh like this was 100 times worse than killing them directly. It was not her way of doing things. The fire phoenix knew what Lin Luoran was thinking as soon as it saw Lin Luoran's angry face. Things were different now. After a while, she would gather 3 of the 5 elements and she could already know something about the space. The fire phoenix might as well do her a favor first. Thinking of this, the fire phoenix raised its voice, "Little girl, do you think this bead is some evil thing that can frighten people's souls?" Lin Luoran nodded. Frightening people's souls was not necessarily the case. Stripping people's soul and flesh like this was the real horror. The fire phoenix dragged its long tail and circled around the swing twice. The world is divided into 5 elements, and one of them is indispensable. The space is the same. Think about the plants planted next to the spring, and then think about me and the silver fish, and you will understand. Aren't there red flame fruit and ice grass planted next to the spring? Oh, there is also a newly planted green light snow lotus. No, the fire phoenix said it was called green light flower. Fire, water, and wood are exactly the same as the properties of the fire phoenix, the silver fish, and the screaming monster wolf. Lin Luoran was so fascinated that she didn't care whether this method was cruel or not. No, no. Can the spirit of monsters be sucked in only by the connection of guarding for many years? Isn't this a good deal? The previous owner of the bead took the bead to steal all the spirit herbs of monster cultivators. Even the owner of the spirit herbs was sucked in. There should be other restrictions, such as the blood the monster wolf started to spit on the green light flower. Is it because of the blood? Lin Luoran frowned and thought about it. She might also have to consider the personal ability. Otherwise, if she lived in ancient times, she could do whatever she wanted as long as she got the spirit herbs stained with the blood of monsters with the bead. The fire phoenix didn't disturb her and let her think about it by herself. The monster wolf has been screaming for a long time. Its breath is getting weaker and its light is wandering. Now it is really only half soul and half spirit. The newborn soul of departed is extremely fragile. When the monster wolf opens its eyes, it is stunned by everything in front of it. Before it finds out the state of its body, it is about to claw at Lin Luoran, who is meditating. The fire phoenix grabs its tail. Newbie wolf, hasn't anyone taught you that newcomers should report their measurements and photos? The monster wolf obviously doesn't hear the witty words of the fire phoenix. Wood and fire repel each other. It doesn't know that it has become a soul of departed. When it finds that it is caught by a big bird with flames all over its body, it is certainly scared. With a flash of light in the secret room, Lin Luoran is thrown out of the space. Fortunately, she is quick to catch the paper and pen before she is thrown out. With the reminder of the fire phoenix, she has figured out some rules of the space. Because of the addition of the monster wolf, the space will change again. She can't stay in the space for the time being, so she has to come out first. Looking at Zaitong, who is still in a coma, Lin Luoran writes on the paper that she has found Zaitong but can't return to the grassland for the time being. She hopes Dunju and others will not worry about her. Lin Luoran flies to the top of the snow mountain and ties the note around White Cloud's neck. She whispers a few words in White Cloud's ear. White Cloud flies down the mountain with the note and runs to the vast grassland. Lin Luoran cleans up Zaitong's wound and quietly waits for the little girl to wake up. The broken arm can be cured, but the fire phoenix said that her personal ability is not high enough. To refine the spirit medicine, she needs at least the personal ability of bearing essence. Now, bearing essence has become the most important problem in front of Lin Luoran. Bearing essence can save Zhe Yitong's lost arm and have the strength to reach the edge of Mount Penglai. You're tuning in to the Blissful Bookshelf YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.